This is it, Ipswich Town in the Premier League. Liverpool at Portman Road, watching the action for BBC Radio Suffolk. A former Town and England captain, Mick Mills, and your commentator, Brenna Woolley.
So a new era dawns at a very, very noisy Portman Road. After an absence of 22 years, Premier League football returns to Suffolk. And what an opening game this is. Coincidentally, against the club that hammered the final nail into the coffin of George Burley's boys in 2002. It's a 5-0 thumping at Anfield that consigned the Blues to an EFL stay that none of us could have ever imagined would last more than 1,000 games stretched over 2 decades plus. I say that none of us could ever have imagined, but obviously meant those of us who'd been born by then, because we have to remember that for an entire generation of Ipswich supporters, this is going to be their first ever taste of top flight football. How excited are they today? I think we've got a fair idea, given the quite remarkable atmosphere here for this 12:30 kickoff, which will see two managers new to the Premier League going head to head. This is Arne Slot's first competitive match in charge of a Liverpool side that's understandably viewed as one of the favourites to lift the title in 38 games time. The former Feyenoord boss replaced Jurgen Klopp this summer. The German was never a fan of these early kickoffs. Let's hope his Dutch successor feels the same in a couple of hours from now. And Mick Mills, if you can hear me, this is what you call a proper Premier League game, isn't it? It's some occasion.
Yes, this is an absolutely tremendous fixture for the Town, and really the whole day is almost about people that have deserved to be here today, because when you look at the Town team, there's only 2 players in the lineup that didn't take part in that fantastic season we had last year. And when you look at the opposition that we're taking on, Arne Slot, the new Liverpool manager, is a real rarity that's gone into a job and basically said that he likes what he's inherited. He believes that the previous manager has left him a very, very good team. He hasn't sort of made any changes whatsoever. He's pretty much talked about this team having achieved a lot last year. They finished 3rd, they got themselves a trophy. He's in no hurry to change it whatsoever. So there's nothing experimental about Liverpool. So as far as Town are concerned, they're going to get a real good yardstick this afternoon as to what the Premier League is all about. You've got a manager saying this is a proper Premier League team and he doesn't want to change it. So this is a great opportunity for us. It's going to be a fabulous afternoon. We as a team have deserved to be here. Let's hope we can handle this very, very good Liverpool team, and it's going to be one hell of an occasion.
Huge banner strung across pretty much the width of the Sir Bobby Robson standoff to our left-hand side. 4 simple words with the club crest in the middle. The future is now. It's a lovely sunny day here in Suffolk. When isn't it on the opening day of the season? Of course, the EFL got underway last weekend, but now at Portman Road, it's all purely about the Premier League. Out come Ipswich Town, led by their captain Sam Morsey, alongside Virgil van Dijk of Liverpool. Ipswich Town enter the field, off go the pyrotechnics. Town are most certainly back in the Premier League. It's been way, way too long. There's been that generation that's never experienced this that I mentioned, but also the older generation who experienced 62, who tasted glory in 78 and 81 and never dreamt they'd have Premier League football back in their little corner of Suffolk. Well, believe it, it is here. We're a few minutes away from kick-off live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport as the blue smoke drifts around Portman Road, packed to the rafters. We are expecting the biggest opening day top flight crowd here since 1977. Could even top 30,000. Tickets have been at an absolute premium. So if we look at the two teams, number of headlines as far as Ipswich Town are concerned, not least of all in goal. Christian Walton didn't start a championship game last season. Murrich is injured. There are 2 debutants that Mick Mills alluded to. Greaves brought in from Hull over the summer. Delap brought in from Manchester City. 8 of this side played against Huddersfield on the final day last season, and an incredible 7 of this team have played for Ipswich Town in League One. Quite remarkable. So it's Walton in goal. We'll go for a back 3 of Twanzebe, Wolfenden and Greaves. Wide on the right, Burns. Down the left, Davis. In the middle, Morsey and Luongo. And then Chaplin and Hutchinson, now a permanent Town player. Amari playing behind Delap. No Broadhead or Hurst, they're injured. Slicker is promoted to the bench as the sub-keeper. Then you've got Calvin Phillips, Marcus Harness, Jack Taylor, Cameron Burgess, Ali Al-Hamidi, Ben Johnson hoping to make his debut, so too Connor Townsend, and so too Sam Schmoddix. As Mick kind of hinted at, no debutants in this Liverpool starting 11, nor will there be one from the bench. They haven't spent anything this time. Who'd have thought we'd be starting a Premier League season talking about Ipswich Town spending millions more than Liverpool, but that's the case. But what a team this is. Allison in goal. The back 4 of Alexander-Arnold, Kwanzaa, Van Dijk and Robertson. 3 of them have won just about everything there is to winning club football. The midfield 3, Gravenberch, McAllister, a World Cup winner, and Szoboszlai, who had an excellent first season, Hungarian, at Anfield. And then a front 3, well, tasty doesn't do it justice. Salah, Jota and Diaz. On the bench, Kelleher, Endo, Konate, Nunes-Jones, Gakpo, Elliott, Tsimikas and Bradley. What do you make of the Ipswich Town team then, Mick? Just a couple of debutants and a lot of players we've seen a lot of the last few seasons, Ipswich Town.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you then, brother.
What do you make of the Town team?
Well, I just think it's a question of, I think he's tried to reward a lot of people with a game. There are 1 or 2 players that have strengthened. We're unsure about the system that will be played, whether it's with a back 3 or a back 4, we don't know. We just have to wait and see. It's been a remarkable team so far. Very good in the first division, excellent in the championship. Now this is a major test for them, and it'll just be interesting to see what they do. I think he's sort of pretty much selected a team that most people would have selected. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. I just think there'll be one difference from this year to last year. I think most of the games that we take part in this year, we won't have so much of the ball. So the strength of the team has got to be what we do without the ball. We've got to be really strong without the ball, and then relish the times that we're in possession of it, because without doubt, we won't have, I wouldn't imagine anyway, as much possession as what Liverpool will have.
Liverpool break away from their pre-match huddle as if I need to tell you they will be playing in all red. They will be playing from right to left. Liverpool, they finished 3rd in the Premier League last season, 7 points off Arsenal, 9 off Manchester City. But of course they are one of the serious challengers to win the title come the end of this season, probably along with Manchester City and Arsenal, with all due respect to your Manchester Uniteds, Aston Villas, Newcastles, Chelseas and so on. Just listen to Portman Road as the 2 teams take the knee. The referee is Tim Robinson. Stuart Atwell's in charge of VAR. Of course we have that at the top flight. The referee blows his whistle and Premier League football returns to Suffolk, to BBC Radio Suffolk as well, after way too long. Liverpool immediately on the front foot, wide left. Diaz tries to get an early ball into the box, gives it to Robertson, and it comes from his left boot, headed away by Greaves. That'll do his confidence the world of good. Then stopped forward by the Dutchman Gravenberch. Here's the Colombian Diaz. Good challenge from Chaplin on the edge of his area. Town, of course, in blue, white, blue. Almost given away by Burns. Well, he gave it away, but it came immediately back to him. He hacks it across the field, kept in far side by Davis. Looked a Premier League player in the making pretty much all of last season, Leif Davis, more than ready to make the step up. So too did this man Greaves, by all accounts, was an excellent player for Hull City. Delap's first touch in a competitive game for Ipswich Town's a header, which is retrieved by Robertson, the Scotland international captain, has been for a number of seasons now. Here's Van Dijk, the Liverpool skipper, starting his 2nd season with the armband, succeeding Jordan Henderson. Once again, the Dutchman, one of the best defenders in world football the last few years. Alisson in all black, rolls it to his left. Robertson, Ipswich Town pressing off to our right. Robertson on his weaker left boot gets the ball away. Good challenge in the air, won by Greaves ahead of Szoboszlai, and on the deck goes Greaves. Greaves has had a very good first minute in terms of boosting his confidence.
Well, it's a beautiful challenge from Greaves for his first one. You couldn't get a stronger challenge than that. He'll feel good about that.
Yeah, he certainly will. On this left-hand side, underneath us, Liverpool have the ball. Robertson flicked on by McAllister. Team there's Messi at international level. Played in all of their successful World Cup winning games a couple of years ago in Qatar. The Liverpool number 10, given away by Van Dijk. Hutchinson shoots, blocked by Quansah. First sight of goal for Ipswich Town in this game.
That was a chance. We stole the ball off of Liverpool. They just overplayed, played a silly ball. We seized upon it, and that was a little chance from Omari Hutchinson.
There's Robertson, who's been out in pre-season, been injured. Played against Seville last week. Now Szoboszlai to the right back, Alexander-Arnold. Still not really sure what his best position is. Alexander-Arnold will be given licence to roam into midfield. Just a wonderful all-round footballer, Trent Alexander-Arnold, been at Liverpool since the age of 6. Actually did start in midfield way back in the day. He's been there for all of the success in recent seasons. McAllister looping the ball out to the left-hand side. Diaz one-on-one with Tuanzebe, running forward, wanting the ball now edge of the Ipswich Town area. Liverpool have it with Robertson. Now Diaz again, trying to turn away from Tuanzebe. Back it goes to McAllister. Still 0-0 live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. Quansah has played here in the FA Youth Cup in the past, actually captained Liverpool here in the past. Quansah also played against Ipswich Town, should I say, for Bristol Rovers a couple of years ago in a successful loan spell. Loose from Robertson, taken on by Chaplin. Delap trying to get Burns away. Now Burns has got goal side. He's brought down by Robertson, is he? What's Mr. Robertson going to say? Says play on. Town still have the ball. Chaplin back to Burns. Good stuff from Town. Burns crosses towards the far stick. Davis can't get on it. It's out behind, but it's been a really good start this so far.
Yeah, we've stolen it again in the midfield on that occasion, and an early ball through. And I thought Robertson was a little bit sort of sluggish. He may be overconfident, but he allowed Burns to get goal side of him. And to be quite honest, it was a free kick for me. He's been tackled from behind. Staggered that the referee didn't give a free kick to Town.
Town have beaten in their last 21 league games here. One defeat in their last 39 on this pitch. That was Leeds last August. Van Dijk inside the Liverpool 6-yard area. Tries to hit a ball to the far side. Salah. It's his first touch with his new shaven head haircut, the Egyptian. What a player he is. Of course, an international colleague of Sam Morsy. Liverpool playing the ball around at the back. It's Alexander-Arnold. Deceived Davis. Davis tugs on the left arm of Alexander-Arnold. And it's a free kick to Liverpool. Still 0-0 between these two sides, live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. Every kick of every Ipswich Town game this season will be at Manchester City in a week's time, and then AFC Wimbledon in the Cup the following midweek. Town are then back here against Fulham. One of only 3 league games this opening month of the season, not quite as intense as what we're used to. Luongo up and Szoboszlai on halfway. Slot's having a word with his players, of course, like Kieran McKenna. He's managing in the Premier League for the first time. Arne Slot, the 45-year-old Liverpool boss. The referee unhappy with McAllister taking that free kick, rolling the ball forward to Jota. Just currently having a word with Sam Morsy is Mr. Robinson.
Sam Morsy's had his first lecture of the season. He'll have a few of those, but at the moment it's been Liverpool have had the ball, but Town have had the moments.
Yeah, Town have been pressing very, very well. Liverpool passing it around a lot, as Mick hinted at, but it's inside their penalty area. Here is Van Dijk, former Celtic and Southampton player. Remarkable signing he was for Liverpool. Wolfenden bring down Jota. The referee's going to have a yellow card. Wolfenden's going to be on a yellow card for the best part of 85 minutes.
Yeah, he's got too tight to Jota there, and he's been spun around, and he's had to bring him down. And in actual fact, if the referee had allowed it to go on, there was a Liverpool player making pursuit towards the ball, and he would have been in a good position. But not a good challenge by Luke Wolfenden, and too early in the game as well.
His first involvement in this match that was for Wolfenden. He's going to watch his step. Andy Robertson on this free kick for Liverpool. Into the Ipswich Town box it comes. It's a really good one. Lovely ball from him, but it's swung out harmlessly. Goal kick to Walton in all yellow. Just got those few minutes at the end of the Huddersfield game last season when he replaced Václav Hladký from the bench, but lost his place just before kick-off at Sunderland to an injury at the tail end of pre-season last year. But didn't Hladký come in and make the most of his opportunity? But a very good, dependable goalkeeper, very experienced Christian Walton. Kind of got 2-3 maybe very, very good goalkeepers, because Slicker, as we saw in the League Cup last season, is a decent deputy. But Town want Muric back. Burns with a header in field. Hutchinson couldn't collect. Here is Soberslai, the Hungarian national captain. Alexander Arnold, ball forward. He's got too much on that. A classic attempted pass from him, carved off the outside of his right boot. Wasn't a million miles away from being an absolute peach getting Jota in on goal, but the ball's in the gloves of Walton. And live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport, we're still waiting for the first goal, but Town have started well. Walton gives the ball to Morsey. Morsey gives it to Wolf, and he manages to just keep it in, but Town almost caught out. That was a little bit ragged. It's going to be a throw-in on this near side for Liverpool, outside the Ipswich Town penalty area. Liverpool have to get all the way back to the halfway line. Van Dijk with a disguised ball forward to Gravenberch, former Bayern Munich player. McAllister trying to thread it through. Good block off by Twanzebe. Hutchinson back to Luongo. Luongo gives the ball to Delap, far side, with his socks rolled down pretty low. Infield to Morsey. Burns wants it on this right-hand side. Burns gets it. Does he? No. Robertson challenges. Now the ball finds its way to Twanzebe. Town do well enough in their new kit, of course. The blue shirts with a white pinstripe detail, released earlier on this summer. A lot of people buying the pink kit, part designed by Ed Sheeran, that's been on sale. Davis through the middle, chest trap by Robertson, which goes back to Alisson, the Brazilian.
Well, we've just seen Town in possession of the ball, and they were trying to do basically what they've been doing for the last 2 seasons, and they were pretty successful at it, but you saw how much quicker they had to move the ball on that occasion than what they have done in the last 2 years.
Given away by Ipswich Town. Jota, the Portuguese, has been here with Wolves in the past, overplaying it for Salah. No, Salah will get on the ball. Good pace from him inside the Ipswich Town area. Tries to knock it into the middle again. Good work from Greaves. He's had a very good first 8.5 minutes in a Town shirt, Jacob Greaves. It's a corner kick to Liverpool, the first for either side in this game.
Well, so far, up until that moment, Liverpool have been all left side, and Mo Salah has been a spectator. On that occasion, they got the ball through behind the Town defence. I initially felt that Christian Walton should have come and dealt with it. He decided not to, and Mo Salah ended up in a very, very dangerous position.
Liverpool's leading goal scorer the last 7 seasons, Mo Salah. Corner kick to Liverpool, still in the early stages of this game, the 10th minute to be precise. It's 0-0 in the Portman Road sunshine. Left-footed in swinger, but the referee's seen something he's unhappy with. After a retake from that far corner, the join of the cobbled stand and the north stand. The taker, Robertson, just waiting for a replacement ball to be passed to him. It's been Kostas Tsimikas, the Greek international, who's been playing for Liverpool a fair bit pre-season, but Arne Slot will be delighted to have this man back and available. Played here with Hull in the past, Robertson. Robertson with a corner kick for Liverpool. Into the centre it comes, headed away by Greaves. The number 24 has caught the eye in the early stages. Town can't break away. Maybe now they can. Hutchinson challenges to Bosley. Now Liverpool have just got 2 players at the back. Town have 3 coming forward. Hutchinson still has the ball. Tries to find Chaplin in the area, but Alexander Arnold is back. That was a chance for Ipswich Town. They possibly should have made more of. Liverpool were definitely short in numbers. There is Twanzebe on the centre spot, gives it to Morsey. Liverpool already know they're in a game here. McAllister goes in on Morsey. That one is a free kick for the Blues.
You just feel that there's a little bit of an arrogance about Liverpool. They really don't feel that Town are going to be as sharp as what they're showing at the moment, and quite a lot of occasions we're stealing the ball off them. That last attack, that should have been a Liverpool tidy up from the corner kick, but it was arrogance that caught them out, and we looked dangerous.
Kieran McKenna watches on. A proper Premier League manager now. No more than he deserves either. Everything about him is Premier League. Now his managerial status included Luongo to the left, Davis underneath the packed ranks of Merseysiders, occupying half of the top tier opposite now. Extended away allocation for these teams visiting Ipswich Town this season. Walton out of his area gets a hold of the ball, and now it's with Luke Wolfenden. Here is Twanzebe pushing the ball forward inside the Ipswich Town half to Sam Morsey. We're still 0-0. Morsey's brought down again, this time by Szoboszlai. Nothing doing in the eyes of the referee. Twanzebe, who's played Premier League before, goes back to Walton. Walton clears his lines towards Delap. Part of his game has been to hold the ball up. Gravenberg gets the ball off Hutchinson up towards what would have been an offside Jota. Wolfenden plays the ball to Davis. First time he's been able to run forward with the ball at his feet. Infield to Delap. He's pickpocketed by Quansah. There is Mo Salah going back to Alexander-Arnold. 250 appearances now for Liverpool. Salah, 150 goals plus, as he tries to get onto that long ball from back to front by Alexander-Arnold, but Walton was alert and used his head just outside of his penalty area. No chance there for the Egyptian. Now it's Ipswich Town's very own Egyptian who's on the ball. Morsey playing it forward, looking for Delap. Lovely ball from the captain. Delap, what's his first touch like? It's good. Delap inside the box. Oh, just towed away by Quansah. Good defending. Delap couldn't have done a lot more time with the ball back, but illegally the challenge by Hutchinson wasn't approved of by Mr. Robinson in black. And he gets a yellow card for that as well. 2 Town players booked early on.
Well, I think both teams at the moment look very vulnerable to the ball over the top of the defence. The defence obviously are trying to come and play high lines. I think Town have got their high line a little bit wrong, and the ball isn't automatically going through to Christian Walton. He's having to make sharp decisions as to what he does, and I think that Liverpool's high line as well is being caught out by the Town midfield players, who are just dropping the ball over the back of that line, and we do look a little bit dangerous.
It's been good so far, this from Ipswich Town, very good indeed. 13 minutes gone, Town pressing, trying to pen Liverpool back inside their defensive third. They've found the out ball to Salah, far side, being challenged by Davis. Another free kick given against Ipswich Town. This for shirt tugging by Davis. Kieran McKenna was protesting against that yellow card for Hutchinson quite strongly down below us to the 4th official, which is Keith Stroud. He's not done Town too many favours in the past, Mr. Stroud. Jota dropping off the front line, feeding Szoboszlai. Liverpool coming forward, looking for the opening goal. Salah's in on goal, plays it across the centre, blocked off by Greaves. More excellent work from one of the best defenders in the Championship last season. He'll be really pleased so far, Jacob Greaves, with his efforts, Mick, won't he?
Yes, he will, but I'm just a bit concerned. As much as we love Leif Davis getting forward, they're beginning to sort of exploit that space that he leaves behind down that left-back position, and Greaves is going to have a lot of work to do coming across and dealing with it.
Liverpool at Portman Road, opening day of the Premier League season, have a corner kick. It's Robertson, it's the visitors' second of the match. It's 0-0, in it comes, headed away by Delap. McAllister can't bring it down in the D for a shot towards goal, but the Argentinian's held on to it. He's gone wide left outside the Town box. His attempted cross is clipped off a Town player. Wolfenden doesn't take any prisoners or chances with that clearance. Out the ball flies near side. Szoboszlai throws it back towards Alexander-Arnold. Infield from the number 66 to Allison. Played the vast majority of Liverpool's league games last season. Callagher tends to get preferred in cup competitions, which they've had, of course, a fair bit of success. They're the reigning League Cup champions, won the FA Cup just 2 years ago. It's only 4 years ago since Liverpool actually won the league title for the first time in 3 decades plus. Van Dijk to Gravenberg, over the top from the Dutchman. Salah, flag stays down, the ball just goes away, thankfully, from the Liverpool number 11. And it's Walton's again. He's been in action a few times without having to make a real save so far, Christian Walton.
But he's going to have to be really alert to those balls that are going just over the back of the defence, because that one was not a definite ball. Do I come and deal with it, or do I stay? You know, they're looking for that all the time.
Hutchinson goes back to Wolfenden, the 2 players on cautions. Now Twanzebe near side, flanked by Diaz, put under pressure by Diaz. Wolfenden finds Walton. Walton gets it away. Fascinating game to watch live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. Alexander-Arnold's popped up in midfield, goes square to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai sets himself, he can score from here, but that's a great block by Luongo. He's met with the full force of the Hungarian's right foot. The Australian did very well. It's another corner kick to Liverpool.
Yeah, they're very comfortable on the ball. They get themselves on the half-time turn nicely in midfield, and they just keep passing and passing, and they're all the time. They've got one eye on the ball over the top. They've won a number of corners now, and they're just beginning to get Town to be on the back foot most of the time.
16 and a half minutes played at a packed Portman Road. Liverpool have their third corner kick of the afternoon off to our left-hand side. It's Andy Robertson to take it. In it loops, headed away by Greaves. His head gone up with the gloves of Walton. Away it goes to McAllister. McAllister square, finding Alexander-Arnold. He'll drill it into the area. Powerfully headed away by Wolfen and chested down by Hutchinson. Tries to shield it from Diaz. He's outnumbered by Diaz and Gravenberch. The referee was on the spot, wasn't too chuffed with that, so he's given a free kick to Ipswich Town at the back.
Yeah, I think we've equipped ourselves pretty good. It's always going to be a test for us. I think the forward play it's been spasmodic, but it's been good when we've managed to do it, and we've threatened the Liverpool goal a couple of times. But Town have got to really, the concentration at the back has got to be absolutely tip-top.
Headed in field by Burns, cleared away by Quansah before Delap could get a sniff. Luongo loses the ball and tries to win it back with a lunging challenge in Gravenberch. Thankfully he didn't catch him. He's more likely to get the player than the ball. Might have been the threat of another yellow card for a Town player, but thankfully he didn't have Walton. Draws in Jota, finds the out ball to Luongo, edge of the Ipswich area. It's now with Greaves. The last meeting between these two sides was 22 years ago. It was a League Cup tie, 1-1 at Anfield, and then Town sadly lost on penalty kicks. Last time they met in the league it was 6-0 and 5-0. Liverpool winning 6-0 here. As Tuanzebe's lunging challenge sees the ball actually end up being a ball back to Walton. Walton's got the ball in his hands.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this situation here now where we want to come out from the back. Liverpool are terrific at pressing on the first instance.
Burns up against Robertson. Robertson piles into the back of Burns. Not very wise from Robertson, that at all. That was a daft challenge. Wes Burns has won Ipswich Town a free kick in a good crossing position. It's these kind of areas that Town have got to make the most of. And Mark Hudson, brought into the coaching staff in the summer, former Cardiff manager, just seen him off the bench there having a word. He's kind of a set-piece specialist, so there's a bit of an under-the-radar signing over the course of the last couple of months. He could be worth his weight in gold if he can help Ipswich Town improve their goal output from set pieces. Not that it was bad at all last season, it has to be said. Town won and scored a lot of goals from corner kicks and free kicks, relatively speaking. It's Sam Morsey on this free kick. It will be once Mr. Robinson's done a little bit of housekeeping. He's moving the ball towards the touchline, and fair dues. Sam was trying to pull one there.
He's moved it again.
Sam's got another yard in field.
He's got to be careful.
Free kick to Ipswich Town in the 20th minute outside the Liverpool box. The roof will come off Portman Road if Town score here. It's Morsey the captain, and it goes towards the far stick. Headed down by Greaves. Saved on the line by Allison. Wow, what an impact on his debut that would have been.
That was a terrific ball from Sam Morsey. It gave the goalkeeper no chance to come and get it, but it gave Greaves an excellent chance to climb and power a header towards goal. That was decent. I think Wes Burns is worrying Robertson a little bit.
He will be, undoubtedly. Andy Robertson's not 100%, can't be after a bit of time, or at least maybe 100% fit, but not in terms of match sharpness. Hasn't featured much at all. The Scotsman. Burns is desperate to get at him. The home fans now starting to find their voice. Not an empty seat inside Portman Road. 0-0 with 20 and a bit on the clock. It's 12:30 kickoff. Second game of the weekend in the Premier League. Luongo up to Chaplin. Man United beating Fulham 1-0 last night. So winner by 2 in this game. Goes top of the table. Ball down the line. Davis finding Chaplin through the legs of Alexander-Arnold. Szoboszlai's there though. Then McAllister up towards Jota. Liverpool have it with Van Dijk at the back. It's first time lofted away by him. Headed forward by Davis, then on by Morsey to Delap. Lovely flick round the corner from Hutchinson. Chaplin has a little bit of space. Now Burns, does he want to take on Robertson? No, he just flicks it up off Diaz. And he's a throw-in for Ipswich Town. He's had the peroxide out, Wes Burns, in the last few weeks.
Yeah, I think I already early in the game said that Omari Hutchinson did well when it was actually Wes Burns.
The ball goes back to Walton from Greaves. Walton on the edge of his penalty area. Left-footed, he fires the ball out of play away from Leif Davis on the far side. Fair number of these Ipswich Town players have an opportunity to join a very short, illustrious list of players who've scored in the top 3 tiers of our English football. Fair number of them out there this afternoon. Scored in both League One and the Championship. Just 3 years ago today, Town were losing 2-1 at Cheltenham. 2 years ago today, Town were playing at Burton in front of 3,500 people. Different world now. Alexander Arnold with a crossfield ball. Twanzebe was tall enough to head it away. Diaz, though, gets it to Robertson. On watch Arne Slot and Kieran McKenna. Diaz drifting away from Chaplin, trying to feather the ball through to Salah. Brought down by Chaplin for Hutchinson. Rides the challenge of Gravenberg. It was a foul, though. The referee saw that, and it's a free kick to Ipswich Town inside their own half. They've got through the first quarter of this game at 0-0.
Yeah, and the longer that we can keep, whilst it's 0-0, I think that we will be playing with confidence. What we mustn't do, obviously, if we go a goal behind, then I think that will be where it will be really, really difficult for Town. But stay level, and we've still got a chance, a really good chance.
Liverpool have finished in the top 5 the last 8 seasons. Won 6 major trophies in the last 6 campaigns under Jurgen Klopp. It's really been a purple period for them. Playing some wonderful football as well. Luongo to the left-hand side. Leif Davis down the line, coming in is Delap. He's been fouled. Free kick. Town fans whinging, believing that Quansah was maybe worthy of a yellow card, like Wolfenden and Hutchinson have deemed to be so far. A little glare from Kieran McKenna down below us. Morsey on the ball, giving it to Wolfenden. A couple of fascinating signings by Town yesterday. Calvin Phillips on loan from Manchester City for the season. Sam Smodix. Town finally getting their man from Blackburn, last season's top goal scorer in the Championships. Already got 3 for Blackburn this season. 1 in the league, 2 in the cup. Clearly lad with an excellent attitude. Hasn't sulked whilst waiting for that move to go through. Shown what he's all about. Good character. It's another foul by an Ipswich Town player, which the referee says is worthy of a yellow card. So Wes Burns, the latest of this Ipswich Town team, to have their names inked in.
A little bit aggressive there. I think he knew that the player was he was comfortable on the ball. He was going away from him, and he sort of lunged in. It was a behind the ball tackle. Probably deserved the yellow card.
If you're just joining us, 24 minutes in, Ipswich Town have more than held their own in this game. It's not a 0-0. That's been corner kick after corner kick, Walton save after Walton save, last ditch, good fortune, all of those kind of things. It's been a good game. Town have caused Liverpool 1 or 2 problems without Allison having to make too much in the way of saves. That one stop on the line from Greaves, aside from that, but nor has Walton, has to be said. Town currently trying to force the issue off to our right-hand side. Robertson dabs it back to Allison, who couldn't dwell on the ball there because Delap was herring straight towards him. Szoboszlai gives it to Salah. First time he's come in field, pretty much on the centre spot. Down the line from McAllister, finding Jota. Jota in field to Robertson. Good 1-2 between the pair of them. Jota's inside the box. Jota's still got the ball. There's limbs everywhere as Twanzebe tangles with him. And then the former Manchester United player digs the ball out.
He did well there, Twanzebe. That was a bit of a threat there with the players taking you on way inside the penalty area, but I thought he held firm. He was a little bit unlucky to be penalised for the ball having gone out for a corner kick.
It's Alexander Arnold who's going to be taking this. Liverpool with around 58% of the possession so far in this game. That's to be expected. Alexander Arnold getting a little bit of grief, playful grief from the North Stand. 3 of the Town subs very close to him. Jack Taylor, Calvin Phillips, Cameron Burgess. Alexander Arnold with his first corner kick of the game. Liverpool corner. It's 0-0. In from Alexander Arnold. Swinging in towards the goal line. Well held by Walton. He'll be happy enough with his reintroduction to League football.
It's very difficult. Every corner so far has been going into a very, very packed penalty area. There's only 3 players that are not in the Town penalty area. That's the Liverpool goalkeeper, the corner kick taker, and 1 player who stands outside the box. The rest are all going in there. When you take the corners, what you're supposed to hit, I don't know.
Town were unfortunate there. There's a nice little bit of play. Link-up play between Chaplin and Burns, but the referee's assistant felt the ball had just gone over the white line. Otherwise Burns might have been away. Got themselves out of a tight little area pretty well. 2 great mates, the pair of them. Robertson thought about going infield. In the end he tucks the ball back to Allison. Still goalless in this match. Live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sports. Van Dijk, long ball downfield. Salah one-on-one with Davis. He's got Szoboszlai coming infield. Well done by Davis. Picked up though wide on the right hand side by Jota. Jota running in from the right. As Davis goes to ground effectively, the ball's out of play for a 5th corner kick to Liverpool. Town yet to force one.
Yeah, well, it's very noticeable that they can progress down the sides, on either side really. Salah's had a few little opportunities, and we've had Diaz on the other side, and it's basically because Town have packed the centre of midfield with players and they've left the sides a little bit empty.
Corner kick to Liverpool. Another in-swinger from the left boot of Robertson. It's so far goalless. Into the middle it comes. It's so dangerous. In the end, Walton drops on it. Another good corner kick. It's waiting for somebody to clear the ball away. It eventually went back to Walton, but I think it was going to be a free kick anyway to Ipswich Town.
Well, that ball almost dropped kindly for a Liverpool player, just on the edge of the 6-yard box, but he wasn't able to get the right sort of touch on it. But there was an infringement on the Town goalkeeper.
Wolfenden inside his penalty area. Hasn't had the chance to really play football so far. Town passing it around at the back, getting out beyond the Liverpool press really well. Twanzebe maybe has too much of Morsey. Morsey holds off Szoboszlai. Maybe caught Szoboszlai in the face accidentally, the captain. Now the referee's put a halt to play after a tangle involving Morsey and Gravenberg. It's actually an Ipswich Town free kick inside their half, as Mark Hudson has an extended chat to Wes Burns down below us. He's been very active, Mark Hudson, more than some of the other members of the Ipswich Town coaching staff alongside Kieran McKenna so far. Has managed in the Championship, of course, Hudson, with Cardiff City. Remember him as a player as well, wholehearted, good centre half. Free kick at the back to Town. Wolfenden, the Ipswich lad, to take it. Forward towards Delap. Delap goes down against Quansah. Quansah gives it to Alexander-Arnold. Long from Alexander-Arnold. Now Wolfenden has to defend against Jota. He's done well. Good work, Wolfenden. That'll help him settle. Back to Walton. He pushes it out from under his feet and out of the area as well before letting fly with his size 9 left boot downfield. Quansah wins it. Luongo gets back on it. 0-0. Live on BBC Radio Suffolk. Szoboszlai crunches Hutchinson to the deck. It's rather broken up at the moment, this game. It's another free kick to Town on the far side, though.
He looks a real scrapper, Delap. He looks as if he can make a lost ball into a good ball, you know, so he's ideal for being a central striker. Playing on his own, he'll scrap and he'll have a go at both centre-halves. 16 home wins in each of the last 2 seasons for Ipswich Town. Remarkable they matched their League One tally last time around. Wouldn't it be phenomenal to get off to a winning start this afternoon? Free kick to Town. Davis punts it cross-field, headed by Jacobs back towards the penalty spot of Liverpool. Nodded away by Quansah, then Morsey's on it. Liverpool with Diaz has a chance to break. That's an exceptional pass from Diaz towards Salah. Salah taking on Davis. Davis appeals that it came off Salah. Referee's assistant disagrees. It's yet another corner kick for the visitors. What a wonderful pass that was, and it really did sort of put Leif Davis on the rack. He did well in the end to get a touch to the ball. He's obviously given a corner away, but it could have been an awful lot worse. That was a fabulous ball. Live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. It's the Premier League encounter between Ipswich Town and Liverpool. 19 titles Liverpool have won down the years. 8 FA Cups, 10 League Cups, 6 European Cups. Other silverware beyond that, one of the giant football clubs of the world. Corner kick to Liverpool.
In from Robertson, another good one. Headed down by Wolfenden to Szoboszlai, hits it, blocked, comes as far as McAllister. He's blocked too. What can Town do on the counter? Hutchinson's through the middle. Amari Hutchinson for Ipswich Town, a chance. Square him as Delap. Hutchinson comes in field, edge of the area, still a former Chelsea player. He pulls the trigger and it's saved by Allison off to his left-hand side. Good break from Ipswich.
It was a wonderful breakaway. Every chance, he had a chance to square the ball to a colleague. He decided not to. When he came in field, I think everybody wanted him to put it into the goalkeeper's top right-hand corner, but he tried to go low and hard into the other corner. Maybe the selection was wrong. Certainly the execution wasn't good enough.
Davis against Salah. That's a good battle on the far side. Davis is fouled by Salah, who's now shown a little bit of frustration for the first time. He's appealing, he's suggesting that Davis took a bit of a dive there. Szoboszlai had been told to come off the field near side by the referee, so I wonder if he's got a bit of a bloody nose after the accidental hand from Morsey a few moments ago. But Davis doing all right against Mo Salah at the moment.
He is, but it's a totally different game for him, isn't it, than what he sort of endured or what he enjoyed last year, where all his game was going forward. Today, he's having to do an awful lot of defending.
0-0. McMills alongside me, watching Ipswich Town versus Liverpool. Town at Man City in a week's time. Alex Matthew will be there at the Etihad. Then it's the Cup game against AFC Wimbledon just a few days later, followed by Fulham at home. Town then have a couple of away games after the international break, both on the south coast. We're at Brighton and Southampton in September, before Aston Villa that final Sunday in September. Throw for Liverpool. Morsey gets the better of Jota in the air. There is Tuanzebe trying to shield the ball away from the number 20 Jota. Luke Wolfenden turns it around the corner into midfield. Luongo quickly gives it to Morsey. Morsey through the middle looking for Delap. You see Quansah puffing his cheeks as he beat Delap to the ball. Town win the ball in midfield. Luongo, great first touch from Hutchinson. Davis is overlapping, tries to find him. Alexander Arnold read it. Good defending from him. Alexander Arnold up towards Jota. Looks to play a forward pass every time he gets the ball. Alexander Arnold. Jota's floated pass goes over the top of Robertson, kept in by Diaz. Diaz, the wide left player for Liverpool, operating down this near side for the next 11.5 minutes of this so far goalless first half. Took a long while for the first goal of the season to come last night. It was after 87 minutes that Manchester United eventually broke through Fulham's ranks. Far from a classic by the bits and pieces of that game that I read this morning. Of course, the trip to Old Trafford in the new year will be particularly special for Kieran McKenna. A club that really elevated him as a coach. Here is Robertson. Allison. A couple of saves now, one from the Greaves header, one from that effort by Hutchinson a few moments ago. There he goes, right-footed again, Allison, looking for Salah. Davis heads the ball back to Walton. Again, good work from the Geordie left-back. Good friends with Town's latest loan recruit, Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips in an in-house interview talking yesterday about how he'd spoken to Leif Davis about the move before he decided to come from Manchester City. And also Ben Johnson, because he was with him at West Ham on loan last season. That's a phenomenal signing for me for Ipswich Town. Calvin Phillips, wow. Ball down the line from Tuanzebe. Chaplin tries to clip it in field first time. Comes off McAllister. These Liverpool players know they're in a game. And they're up against a side that thoroughly deserves to be at this level. There is Greaves. Greaves along the deck to Davis. Davis gets the ball out from under his feet up to the halfway line. There's 9 red shirts in front of him though. Has to give it back to Greaves in the centre. Look, Wolfenden. Wolfenden out to the right and Burns. Way too much on that from Wolfenden. Generously gets the thumbs up from Burns. Now it's with Virgil van Dijk of Liverpool. Top flight club since 1962. This is their 63rd consecutive season in the top flight. Liverpool. Quansah goes back to Allison. Van Dijk inside the Liverpool area. Now Robertson. They've rolled it right across their box. Burns challenges Robertson. Ball goes into the crowd down below us. Robertson has the ball above his head. Fair few of the new Ipswich Town pink shirts visible around here. A lot of the orange still on the go, and of course the black and blue as well. Robertson throws the ball to Szoboszlai. That cut has been cleared up. Good challenge by Chaplin on Gravenberch. Ball's out behind. Allison has a goal kick off the floor.
Well, this has been a good performance for me so far. We're sort of like, I think we've got over the sort of nervous tension that we might have had. Our pressing is good when Liverpool are trying to play out from the back. We've nicked a number of balls, and to be perfectly honest, we've had the best chances.
Given away by Allison under pressure. Poor from Davis, looking for Hutchinson. Liverpool get it up to Salah, then infield from Gravenberch to Jota. Morsey challenges him. Nice play from Jota. Lovely football. Now going through the gears. Jota still got the ball, trying to thread it through to McAllister. Might have been played into Diaz. Saved by Walton. Superb goalkeeping. That was almost a Liverpool assist for Luke Wolfenden. It came off of him, and luckily for Liverpool, dropped nicely towards Diaz, who's in a threatening position, but massive credit to the big man in yellow, Christian Walton. Good stop.
Yeah, it's a big save, it really was. That we've sort of, I think Jota again has done really well on the ball, and sort of he's developed the play, and that was a dangerous situation, and Christian Walton did really, really well.
Throw for Liverpool. Robertson to take it. 12 years since Liverpool lost on the opening day of a Premier League season. 3-0 at West Brom. Beat Norwich by that scoreline on the opening day 3 years ago. The Reds. There is Salah. Had a 44 goal season for Liverpool. Another terrific signing by the club. On this left hand side, McAllister, part of that midfield rebuild last summer at Anfield. They've come pretty good, the players brought in, the likes of McAllister and Szoboszlai. Endo's been decent whenever I've seen him as well. And Curtis Jones on the bench has broken forward, the academy player. Come on leaps and bounds the last 12 months. As I was saying, Liverpool have got a very strong bench. Jota up against Burns, handball by Burns, surely it was. Just got to watch, he's on a yellow card, Burns. That was all a little bit needless from him. The referee spotted it as well. Hasn't missed much so far, Mr. Robinson, who did an East Anglian derby a few years ago, I seem to recall here.
I'll tell you, the most impressive player for me of Liverpool is Jota, because he just seems to be able to make something from nothing. He really does. He's hungry, he's alive, he's tenacious, and his control is good. You know, he's a real threat.
Yeah, it's been a good signing from the word go for Liverpool. Coming in from Wolves, the Portuguese international. 15 goals last season. The referee now telling Andy Robertson the free kick's got to be taken a bit closer to the touchline on the near side, and as players do, as Morsey did earlier on. As soon as the referee turns his back, Robertson moves it in a couple of feet. Free kick to Liverpool. 6 minutes to go until half-time. Robertson into the Ipswich Town area, headed away well by Delap. Hooked back in by Van Dijk, but on the first bounce it's collected by Walton. That's a second good defensive header away by Liam Delap this afternoon. He was a player, I get the impression that Kieran McKenna had looked at, possibly asked the question of Manchester City and transfer windows ahead of this one. It wasn't a massive surprise when they invested in the player that was on loan at Hull last season. McAllister into the back of Chaplin. McAllister showing signs of frustration as well now, barking at the fourth official. Arne Slot just gives a cool shake of the head. Luongo at 0-0. Out to the left-hand side, Davis. Back to Luongo. The Australian still got the ball. Player who probably thought his Premier League moment had gone. Davis in field when he joined Ipswich Town. Forward from Morsey, headed off the edge of his area by Quansah. Morsey nods it down to Luongo. A pair in League One, a pair in the Championship, and now a pair in the Premier League. Free kick again to Ipswich Town.
Yeah, there are a lot of free kicks in this game. They're really more than I really expected, because the players are really so hungry to sort of challenge for the ball and to press, whether it's in a forward area or whether it's in a midfield situation.
Davis quickly taking free kick. Chaplin in the area. Chaplin still has it. Alexander Arnold's gone with him. In comes the cross from Hutchinson. It's Twanzebi's header into the roof of the net. Scored in pre-season, scored in the cup last year. Still to get off the mark in the league. That would have been quite some moment for him.
Yeah, good early free kick. Connor Chaplin did very, very well to sort of keep control of the ball and also get the cross in. Header was decent. We are sort of offering a little bit of a threat to Liverpool, which is terrific.
Alisson draws in Delap and then gets the ball away, not very well. Wolfenden wins it here as Burns against Robertson. Robertson got the rub of the green there and cleared. Diaz has brought down Tuanzebe. At least I was hoping the referee would give that decision, and he has done. I did glance towards Mr. Robinson rather nervously in case he'd let Diaz off with that one, because he was away, no one was catching him, even though the ball, or the initial tangle, was on the halfway line. But it is a free kick to Town, correct decision. Chaplin, left-footed down the line to Burns, takes the ball in his chest, but all he does is control it for Robertson, really. There is that Gravenberch going back to Alisson.
Yeah, I thought there were a lot of free kicks in this game. There's actually been 20 so far, which is an enormous amount.
Robertson goes long, Wolfenden wins the header and volleys it forward to the halfway line, brought down on the outside of the right boot by McAllister. Morsey then happy to take him on. Morsey's clearance is charged down. Here is Jota, in goes Luongo. Morsey gets the ball back to his goalkeeper. I could have seen a free kick being given for that one, but Town got away with that challenge. Jota just checking the base of his back as he gets back up to his feet. Forward from Walton. Delap, lovely first touch from Delap, wide left, wants to take on Quansah. Delap's inside the area, tries to pull it back, it's deflected off a Liverpool player, and Town finally have their first Premier League corner kick.
Well, that was a brilliant take, but it was arrogance again from a Liverpool player, and I think that was Trent Alexander-Arnold didn't know and didn't believe that Delap had any pace at all, and so he just left him for standing. You've got to be sure that you can do that if you're going to give people a yard or two.
Town won 1-0 at Liverpool in their first season up in the Premier League. As there are Marcus Stewart out there now. Corner kick to Ipswich, and it comes from Davis, headed away by Salah, not on this occasion. And as far as Wolfenden, he gifts it to Luongo. Davis, left-footed, tries to get it in early, straight off Robertson, who's gone across to right back momentarily, whilst this bit of Ipswich Town pressure continues. Davis, next to the Liverpool fans over on the far side. Well, they'll be expecting their team to win this game. They'll know they could have had easier opening days of the season, even before this first 40 minutes or so. Davis with a throw into the box, headed away by Quansah, nodded on by Diaz, brought down by Szoboszlai, but all he can do is find Davis. Davis then knocks it up in the air. Robertson heads off the edge of his area. Morsey finds Burns. Burns shields it away from Jota, going on a run, the Welsh international. Thought about the cross. Has Hutchinson support. Back it goes to Hutchinson. Hutchinson comes in field, tries to find Morsey, blocked off by Diaz. Diaz gets the better of Tuanzebe, just to his left-hand side, McAllister. Diaz has held on to the ball. Excellent from him. He then finds Salah, but Salah can't control it. That miscontrol has allowed the blue shirts to get back. Salah, though, still has the ball for Liverpool. He's apparently looked sharp in pre-season, Mo Salah. 32 years of age. Alexander-Arnold started, of course, the last Euros for England in midfield. Van Dijk to McAllister. Liverpool prowling. On the left-hand side, Robertson, in comes his cross, headed away by Wolfenden to Tuanzebe, the number 40, up and away from him into the bright sunshine. Liverpool get it back on the deck. Robertson to Gravenberch, tries to get away from Morsey. Szoboszlai to McAllister. Diaz to Salah. Good play from Liverpool. Back to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Hit it cleanly enough, but it's off target. It's over the bar from 18 yards.
Well, it's a good move, good passing, good setup for Trent Alexander-Arnold, and he'll be disappointed with that one. He should really keep that underneath the crossbar without question. Plenty of power. Nothing else.
Just 1 minute to added on time, despite numerous free kicks in this game. Not so much in terms of an injury break. A few people heading off to get their half-time refreshments, which, given there's a risk of missing your team's first Premier League goal in the best part of a quarter of a century, I'm surprised so many people have been eager to disappear. Greaves heading the ball over halfway. Chaplin nods it on, brought down by Gravenberch. Could easily have gone through to Hutchinson. There's Quansah. and very strong in the air noticeably in this first half. Alexander-Arnold up to halfway. Town are going to get an almighty roar when they head off at half-time, particularly if it stays 0-0. But there is a threat now from Liverpool on the right-hand side. Szoboszlai back to Alexander-Arnold. Here is Szoboszlai again. Started all of Hungary's games at the European Championships in the summer. There is Quansel, will be looking to make his England debut this season after being in Gareth Southgate's provisional squad. There is half-time. Liverpool have held the mighty Ipswich have held the mighty Liverpool to a 0-0 draw at the break. And overall, Mick Mills, Town have done very, very well, haven't they?
Well, very pleased with Town, to be perfectly honest. I thought this was going to be a really, really tough game. And we've managed to do what we really didn't want to do, and that's concede early, give Liverpool the initiative, give them the confidence to play through the game. Well, we haven't done that. We've sort of, we've equipped ourselves really well. I think Christian Walton, for somebody who's just come into a match after so long out, I think he's been sharp making his decisions. He's had a lot of decisions to make. Invariably, he's made good ones. So credit to Christian. I think the back four have had a difficult game because they have tried the ball over the top time and time again, and we have had to be, at our best. We really have, and generally speaking, we've done it. Like Leif Davis, who probably hasn't had this type of game for a long, long time, has really scrapped against Mo Salah and has come out, pretty good, so that's the back line's okay, but I think they've got to really be careful of Diogo Jota, who's a real threat there. Sam Morsey and Luongo have done as well as they can in the midfield. They haven't surrendered midfield. Chaplin and Hutchinson have managed to get a number of free balls. I think Wes Burns has been a threat, very much a threat against Ali Robinson. And Liam Delap has really put himself about and really showed what the pace he's got when he got the best of Trent Alexander-Arnold. So generally speaking, we've done well. We've had our moments. We've had a little chance or two, so that's good. It's still 0-0 at half-time. As far as Liverpool are concerned, their back four, for me, are a little bit easy-osy. They believe in themselves a little bit too much and are offering the odd opportunity to Town. The midfield is, again, I've now been able to scrutinise them in a live match. I think they're only okay. Nothing there. Gravenberch, McAllister and Szoboszlai, they're okay. They're not bad players, but they haven't risen to the game today. Salah has had his moments quite, like we would believe. And Luis Diaz, he looks a player that's got good control, but hasn't been very successful in creating chances. The only one for me that's really stood out is Jota. He's led the line brilliantly. His control is good, his desire is good, his pace is good. He's the real threat. The one person that's really disappointed me is Trent Alexander-Arnold, because when you look at the Town system, we've gone to a back four. There's no question about that. We've got Wes Burns playing against Ali Robinson. But we've left Amari Hutchinson and Connor Chaplin infield. Nobody has gone wide left as an attacker. So it leaves Trent Alexander-Arnold exactly how he wants to be. Free, with acres of space in front of him. He doesn't gallop on enough for me. So he's not threatening Leif Davis on the 2v1s enough. But as far as Town are concerned, done very, very well, have had chances, have defended well. This is decent.
Yeah, overall a very, very good, promising first half from Ipswich Town's perspective on their Premier League return. They're holding Liverpool to a goalless draw.
Yeah, I think Town have been superb on their Premier League return. Remember, 7 of the starters for Kieran McKenna's side were starting for Town in League 2, League 1 just 2 seasons ago. This has been some effort from them so far, more than holding their own against Liverpool. Give us your thoughts. 81333 to text in, 08000 321 333 on WhatsApp. Start your messages with SFK. We'll be back with Brennan Woolley and Mick Mills for the second half in its entirety. A look ahead to the rest of today in the Premier League and give you the non-league fixture card when we return in just a moment.
Wayne Babin at breakfast.
I'm still laughing when you tell me to calm down.
Calm
you
down.
tell me to calm down, Isaac.
Calm down.
All right, mate, shut up, sit. Ed Sheeran in the news today. He turned up on stage at Wembley and did a song with his old mate Taylor Swift.
She stopped halfway through the song and said, you know what, this just doesn't feel right. And said, I want to welcome onto the stage, and that's it. I didn't hear anything else after that.
What are you doing on Monday night?
Most probably listen to Brenda Woolley.
Is he better than me, Isabel?
Yes.
I'll take it. There's not many I'd take it from, but I'll take that.
Wayne Babin at breakfast.
Weekdays from 6.
BBC Radio Suffolk.
Ipswich Town 0, Liverpool 0 at half-time. The second half coming up very soon on BBC Radio Suffolk. Last night in the Premier League, Manchester United beating Fulham by a goal to 0. They left it later. Substitute and debutant Joshua Zirkzee breaking the deadlock in the 87th minute. 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League today. Arsenal at home to Wolves, Everton v Brighton. Newcastle face Southampton at St James's Park. It's Nottingham Forest at home to Bournemouth. The 5:30 kickoff sees West Ham at home to Aston Villa. In the Championship, half-time at the Hawthorns. West Brom 0, Leeds 0, Portsmouth are goalless with Luton. Derby County 1-0 up at home to Middlesbrough. At 3 o'clock, Norwich v Blackburn. No Sam Schmodix, of course, on the Blackburn team sheet after his move to Ipswich Town was complete yesterday. Might he make the difference at Portman Road this afternoon? Non-league-wise today, another busy programme. Tough start to life in the National League North for Needham Market last weekend. Their first ever match at step 2 of the non-league pyramid ended with a 3-0 loss away at Curzon Ashton. Back-to-back home games now for the Market men. They face Scunthorpe at Bloomfield on Tuesday. That one falls just after today's visit of Southport to Bloomfields. Let's hear briefly from the Needham boss Kevin Horlock and his assistant Tom Rothery, well aware of how big an occasion this weekend's fixture is.
But there's so many people that do so much at this football club. All non-league clubs have them. The volunteers do so much. Obviously the ball, by going up, it's cost the club money. Obviously they've had to do stuff to the ground, so there's loads of stuff that's gone on. We've done our bit on the football pitch last year in getting little old Needham to step 2, and everyone's pulled in the right direction and got the club to a place where we can compete. So that's what we do. Look, step 2 football is unbelievable for a little club like Needham Market, but we're there. We deserve to be there, and hopefully we can do ourselves justice.
You've got great support. You'd obviously love more as well. And just looking at the kind of Ipswich Town this season, there's going to be less. There's going to be more kind of free Saturdays, I guess, for football fans who aren't going to see Ipswich Town. They've got the potential to go and see their local club. Needham Market, obviously, being one of them, being the highest placed non-league side in the county. Yeah,
that's what we're hoping for. Obviously, we've had success last year in the cups as well, and the crowds have risen slightly. But like I say, with Ipswich probably playing a number of games on Sundays and not on Saturdays, hopefully the crowds can rise here, and hopefully at some point they'll be able to come here and see a couple of their homegrown players on loan with us.
Yeah. So Saturday's going to be special. Needham Market at home to Southport. This place is really going to be rocking, and it comes as well a couple of hours after a certain match in the Premier League. And I know among your former clubs, Kev, Ipswich Town is listed. Tom, you support the other. How are you two going to be that day, 2.5 hours before kick-off here at Bloomfields?
I'll be relaxed. I'll be looking forward to our game for certain. Tom's obviously a die-hard Liverpool fan. He's been twice in 15 years.
One of them was the last time Town played Ipswich, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was the last game when Liverpool won 5-0. So, yeah, Kev always gives me grief about Liverpool, but yeah, I wasn't born in Liverpool. It's just you follow your dad's team, don't you? So, no, look, I hope. Ipswich has been a great success story, but I do want Liverpool to win, obviously. But I hope Ipswich have a good season because it's good for the local area, and obviously, you know, I do think it's coincided with our sort of upturn as well. I think it's created a lot of positivity around the town and even around our club. So, you know, they've done a brilliant job, obviously behind the scenes there as well, and Kieran McKenna's done a great job. So, yeah, look, wish them all the best. Yeah.
But more importantly, like we say, 2.5 hours after that game kicks off, the most important matches. That'll be some occasion, won't it, though, here at Bloomfield?
Our game's always the most important. I always say that. As much as you want your team you follow to do well, we can affect this game. So this is miles more important. So yeah, it'll be great for everyone. First game at this level and first of 24. So or 23. But yeah, hopefully, look, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also, like Kev said, the people behind the scenes that work so hard, especially people like Graham Emerson. It'll be brilliant for them to see this club at step 2, probably beyond even their wildest dreams. So it'll be a great day and a great occasion for them. But we need to make it more than just a great day and a great occasion, and we need to make, at least this level of football sustainable at Needham Market, which is obviously what me and Kev will aim to do.
Best of luck for the season. Good talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Tom Rothery and Kevin Horlock with me at Needham Market Football Club. So Southport, the visitors to Bloomfield today. As with most non-league clubs who have home fixtures this weekend in the county, they're screening Town v Liverpool beforehand. Second half coming up on BBC Radio Suffolk. In the Southern Premier League Central Division, AFC Sudbury, Leiston and Lowestoft will try again for a first win of the campaign at the third time of asking today. 2 draws for Sudbury so far ahead of their match at home to Royston. At Leiston, who have a point on the board after Tuesday's draw with Bishop Stortford, entertain Harbour. Lowestoft Town, who've lost their opening 2, visit Barwell. Matches in the FA Cup preliminary round today for more than half a dozen teams from the county. Ipswich Wanderers, who started the season well, are at Downham Town. Newmarket are at Wroxham. Brantham also away at White Ensign. 2 all Suffolk clashes in the Cup as well today. Stowmarket entertain Cornard, not long off the back of the 2 teams meeting in the Thurlow Non-League. And there's a big one at Ram Meadow today as Bury Town entertain Isthmian North Division rivals Felixstowe and Walton United. Eden Hannigan reporting at that one for us. There'll be no Tom Bullard on the Felixstowe and Walton team sheet, the defender having called time on his playing career after last weekend's 6-1 win over Newmarket at the AGL Arena. We'll hear from him later in the programme. Also, Clark Bruce, if you missed the interview with him last night, the former Henley striker, calling time on his non-league playing career after 248 goals for the SIL Senior Division champions. We are back at Portman Road next for the second half. Town going very well in their first Premier League fixture in more than 20 years.
Chaplin, Delap trying to get Burns away. Now Burns has got goal side. He's brought down by Robertson, is he? What's Mr. Robertson going to say? Says play on. Town still have the ball. Chaplin back to Burns. Good stuff from Town. Burns crosses towards the far stick. Davis can't get on it. It's out behind, but it's been a really good start this so far. And Hutchinson challenges to Bosline. Now Liverpool have just got 2 players at the back. Town have 3 coming forward. Hutchinson still has the ball. Tries to find Chaplin in the area, but Alexander-Arnold is back. That was a chance for Ipswich Town. They possibly should have made more of. Liverpool were definitely short in numbers. Morsey playing it forward, looking for Delap. Lovely ball from the captain. Delap wants his first touch like it's good. Delap inside the box. Oh, just towed away by Quansah. Good defending. Delap couldn't have done a lot more. Town win the ball back, but illegally the challenge by Hutchinson wasn't approved of by Mr. Robinson and Black. It's Morsey the captain, and it goes towards the far stick. Headed down by Greaves. Saved on the line by Allison. Wow, what an impact on his debut that would have been. Corner kick to Liverpool. Another in-swinger from the left boot of Robertson. It's so far goalless. Into the middle it comes. It's so dangerous. In the end, Walton drops on it. Another good corner kick. It's waiting for somebody to clear the ball away. It eventually went back to Walton, but I think it was going to be a free kick anyway to Ipswich Town. What can Town do on the counter? Hutchinson's through the middle. Amari Hutchinson for Ipswich Town, a chance. Square him is Delap. Hutchinson comes in field, edge of the area, still a former Chelsea player. He pulls the trigger and it's saved by Allison off to his left-hand side. Good break from Ipswich. Nice play from Jota. Lovely football. Now going through the gears. Jota still got the ball, trying to thread through to McAllister. Might have been played into Diaz. Saved by Walton. Superb goalkeeping. That was almost a Liverpool assist for Luke Wolfenden. It came off of him, and luckily for Liverpool, dropped nicely towards Diaz, who's in a threatening position, but massive credit to the big man in yellow, Christian Walton. Good stop. Delap, lovely first touch from Delap. Wide left, wants to take on Quansah. Delap's inside the area, tries to pull it back. It's deflected off a Liverpool player. And Town finally have their first Premier League corner kick. It's the ball slide to McAllister. Diaz to Salah. Good play from Liverpool. Back to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Hit it cleanly enough, but it's off target. It's over the bar from 18 yards.
On BBC iPlayer.
Am I taking too much on here?
Freddie Flintoff reunites with his Preston cricket team.
Thank you. All right, lads.
I've missed you.
For their greatest adventure yet. India.
Everything's so different. I've never been anywhere like it. Biggest cricket playing nation in the world. You can feel the team spirit. It's back.
Freddie Flintoff's Field of Dreams on tour.
We're representing England, but we're representing something far bigger than that. We're representing Preston.
Watch on BBC iPlayer.
Taking your calls at full time after our main feature, 0800 141 2121 to book your place in the phone-in with me and Mick Mills, who's alongside Brenna Woolley at Portman Road. Ipswich Town 0, Liverpool 0 at half-time. Well, wow, Brenna, Ipswich sound like we say more than holding their own this afternoon. Don't the debutants look good, by the way? Jacob Greaves probably bossed the first 20 minutes of the game, looked really, really sharp, and as Mick pointed out during commentary, Liam Delap really looks a handful.
Yeah, they've played really well. They have. So have Ipswich Town collectively as well in this game. Thoroughly deserved to be on level terms with Liverpool at the start of this second half. Yet to see the Ipswich Town team come out with the Liverpool 11 back on the field, heading off in all red to the half off to our left-hand side. Town in blue, white, blue will eventually be kicking in their desired second half direction. From right to left, as out come Chaplin and Morsey. First of all, I wouldn't imagine there'll be any changes at half-time, as Graham said there. Just the two debutants in the starting 11 for Ipswich Town, Greaves and Delap, both doing ever so well in that goalless first period. So Town have Walton in goal, Murich injured. And then at the back, Twanzebe, Wolfenden on a yellow, and Greaves. They've got Burns wide, also on a caution, Davis wide on the other side, Morsey and Luongo in the middle, then Chaplin, another Town player on a cautions, Hutchinson and Delap, who we mentioned, spearheading the attack. On the bench, Slicker, Phillips, Harness, Taylor, Burgess, Alhamady, Johnson, Townsend, and Smodix. Johnson just spent a lot of time speaking to Curtis Jones. The two of them must go back a little while. Change for Liverpool. Kanate has come on for Kwanzaa. It's like for like at centre-half. The Frenchman coming on for the young Englishman. So Liverpool have Allison in all black off to our left. Liverpool's rejig back four. Alexander-Arnold, Kanate, Van Dijk and Robertson. In midfield, Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai. Then up front, Salah, Jota, Diaz. On the bench, Kelleher, Endo, Nunes, Jones, Gakpo, Elliott, Tsimikas and Bradley. We can still see 5 changes in the Premier League, same as it was in the Championship. So Town get the second half underway. It's Chaplin, rolls it back to Wolfenden. Town playing from right to left in the second half of this Premier League opener. On the ball is Twanzebe, flanked by 2 Liverpool players who prod it away to halfway, controlled by Wolfenden. On the floor, he then finds Burns far side. Infield, Chaplin to Twanzebe, up towards Morsey. Nice from Town. Chaplin trying to play it in behind for Twanzebe, who'd made a good run forward. Because Town will make changes as well as the second half progresses, probably using all 5 of them, given the energy that's been required so far in this game. It's a hot afternoon, of course, first game of the season. Players quite often don't talk about maybe taking until late September, October to get fully firing. Szoboszlai to Diaz, edge of the Ipswich Town box, now inside the area. Good defending from Twanzebe, but it has ended up being a Liverpool corner kick, the 7th so far of this game.
Yeah, he did well there, Diaz. You know, he actually started the game well, Diaz, when we were sort of trying to toy with playing with a wing back down this side, but then we managed to sort of take him out of the equation. But he started the second half well.
It's 67 games last season for Club and Country. Luis Diaz, former Porto player. This is his 99th appearance for Liverpool. Corner kick to Liverpool. Off to our right, it's Alexander-Arnold in front of the Liverpool fans. He curls it into the Town box. Up goes Greaves, so too Walton. Hasn't been cleared away. Kanate's in there. Diaz, the shot from Salah. Up in the air from Jota. Came to him very quickly. Delap back defending. Again, excellent work in the Ipswich Town box from Liam Delap. Szoboszlai wins it well. Has he given it away to Chaplin? Not quite. McAllister drills the ball forward, chested down by Twanzebe. Wolfenden goes back to Walton. Walton just lets Jota close him down before clearing up to Kanate, part of the France squad at the last World Cup. Ibrahima Kanate, big, strong centre-half. Always impressed me whenever I've seen him in the past. Now it's with Szoboszlai. Kanate again on halfway, playing to the right of Van Dijk, as Kwanzaa did in the first half. I didn't see an injury to Kwanzaa. Interesting change from slot. There is Allison, saves from Greaves and Hutchinson in the first half. Van Dijk coolly plays the ball square. Now Szoboszlai opening his legs on this near side, hitting a crossfield ball to Diaz cushions it on his right instep, taking on Tuanzebe. Still Diaz, brilliant from Diaz. His shot though is substandard. It's way off target. Lovely footwork from initially, and then he got himself into the D. Things opened up beautifully, but that was nowhere near the target.
Yeah, beautiful crossfield ball by Szoboszlai, and then all of a sudden they've got the 2v1 down that side. Diaz has got possession of it. Robertson's coming like a train. You could have said Diaz should have waited for Robertson and put him clear down to the byline, but he stepped inside and got himself in a really good position, but his shot was awful.
Tuanzebe's got an amazing dribble inside his area, goes back to Walton in the end. Walton short to Luongo, Tam playing it around at the back. Luongo lifts it out to the right-hand side, out of play. Brave stuff from Ipswich Town. In the end, Liverpool have forced a throw-in on the far side of the field. Afterwards, 0800 141 2121 is the phone number to get in touch. Text 81333. Start your message SFK or WhatsApp 08000 321 333. Plenty of time to hear from you in this extended match, this 8-hour match day. Bumper edition. Alexander Arnold for Liverpool. Still 0-0 on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. Premier League football returning to Suffolk after way too long. Gravenberch to the left-hand side. That's the far side as we look at things in this sunny second half. Robertson to Van Dijk. Now Canate with his pink footwear. Van Dijk in the blue boots. Short from McAllister to Gravenberch. Good play from Liverpool. Nice interception from the extended right leg of Wolfenden. Tam passing it short. Excellent play from Ipswich Town. Chaplin trying to get Burns away behind Robertson. Across comes Van Dijk and dinks the ball into the lower tier opposite.
Yeah, well played, Connor Chaplin. Lovely bit of control of the ball and the vision and the awareness to put Wes Burns away down that right-hand side. Robertson was struggling. He really was struggling against him again, and Van Dijk had to come across and tidy up.
Kieran McKenna will be delighted and phenomenally proud of the way his players have acquitted themselves against a very strong Liverpool team who played well. Maybe not quite full flow. Liverpool will be better to come from them, but of course Ipswich Town will get better as they become acclimatised to life in the top flight. Injury concern of a Wes Burns at the moment. Virgil van Dijk asking him if he's all right. As on comes Matt Byard.
Yeah, it's just little things we'll gain knowledge from this game, you know, let alone whether we get any points from it or not. We'll gain a bit of knowledge. It's certainly when we're passing out from the back, we really have got to step it up a gear. You know, how we did it in the Championship in the First Division. We've got to do it, if we're going to continue to do it, we've got to do it much quicker and much slicker, because if you can beat the first press, that's when the opposition give you time. They say, no, we've failed, then they sit back, and then you get the time that you want, you know. But if you want to get that first movement right, you've got to be quick and slick.
Changes afoot from the Ipswich Town bench. I think it's Ben Johnson's getting ready to make his debut, probably in place of Burns, who's off the field far side. That could be it for his Premier League debut, Wes Burns. It'll be a club debut for Johnson. Oh, what a ball from Alexander Arnold. Not quite through to Diaz. Well done, Wolfenden. Liverpool come again. Jota miscontrolled it. Again, it's Wolfenden who gets it away. Morsey tries to burrow his way from Szoboszlai. There's some shirt tugging going on. Good advantage played by the referee, but then Diaz upends Chaplin. And that's a free kick. Fans unhappy because they thought if the referee played the advantage, the swinging ball from Luongo would have set Delap free. And that's a free kick at the back. We haven't seen any evidence that Liam Delap can take a throw-in like his dad, incidentally, so far in this game. It's a free kick, which
would be handy if he could,
wouldn't it? Just have Ipswich Town's armoury. Harry Clark coming into the side, we thought he had a massive throw on him, but then we didn't see a great deal of that, really. Harry's injured at the moment. Oh, mistake from Alexander Arnold. Davis wide left, ball in field to Delap. Just about to say excellent first touch, but not quite got away from him. The ball was fizzed in at kind of knee height from Davis. Difficult one for the debutant to take. Greaves twisted in the air by Salah. Free kick to Town. Luongo takes it. This game's settled down a little bit after 7 minutes of the second half, in terms of Ipswich Town getting a bit more of it now. Hutchinson in a wide left position, the number 20. Step over in front of Gravenberch, gives it to Davis. Davis comes in field, gets away from Alexander Arnold, tries to put it around the corner. Delap goes down in the box. What's the referee saying here? Nothing so far. The referee, I think he's just given the ball to Liverpool.
I think it's offside.
It's not going to be a penalty to Ipswich Town. We must clarify that immediately. He's got his hand to his ear, just checking on something, the referee, but nothing at all.
The linesman had his flag up, so whether he felt there was an offside there or not, I don't know.
Johnson's going out for a little bit of a jog on this near side. A fairly irrelevant change this season. Teams can send out 5 substitutes at a time. Previously it's just been the 3. It's Alexander Arnold on this free kick in front of right back for Liverpool. It's 0-0 on the opening day of the season, live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. Remember, I've got a new programme for you on Monday nights on BBC Radio Suffolk, starting this Monday between 6 and 7, the Blue Hour with myself. It'll be lovely to hear from Ipswich Town fans. It's a chance to interact and have a bit of a natter about all things Ipswich Town. We'll have a few features, a bit of a quiz as well. But lovely to hear from you between 6 and 7 on a Monday night. We'll look back at this game and look ahead to what might be on the cards for Ipswich Town next Saturday away to Manchester City. The email to get in touch specifically for the Blue Hour is brenner@bbc.co.uk. You can get in touch at any point. Brenner, which is NNER @bbc.co.uk. If you want to put TBH, the Blue Hour, in the subject box, it'll be easier for me to filter out. But it'd be lovely to have a chat with you on a Monday night, 6 till 7. There is Luongo, almost running into a TV camera near side, and also Connor Bradley, one of the Liverpool subs. There is Alexander Arnold, back towards Canate. In field it goes towards Allison. On the left for Liverpool, Robertson. 9.5 gone in the second half. Still no clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities in terms of clear openings inside 18-yard areas. Lovely from Szoboszlai. Alexander Arnold finds Jota. Jota inside the Ipswich Town area. Infield towards Alexander Arnold. Gives it to Diaz. Diaz lifts the ball over the top as he clatters into Walton. Nothing doing other than a goal kick to Ipswich Town.
Terrific move, and a lot of the goodness about that move was Szoboszlai. He really he's done a couple of good things in this half so far, and that was a terrific move. I'm not quite sure with the incident between Christian Walton and the player Diaz, who was trying to sort of lift the ball over him, and consequently it went over the crossbar, but there seemed to be a collision between the two, and Christian was nowhere near the ball, so
Burns is going to have to come off. He's really struggling at the moment. Ben Johnson, brought in on a free this summer from West Ham United. He's been playing pre-season. He's getting ready for his first bit of competitive action, the number 18. I feel really sorry for Wes Burns, particularly if it's something that's going to mean that his appearance next week at Man City is threatened. His body language isn't good at the moment, as if he's really worried about this injury. First change for Ipswich Town then. Johnson's going to get at least 34 minutes plus added on time, only 11 gone in the second half. Lovely standing ovation for Wes Burns. Lovely interview with Wes we played earlier on the programme. Just summed him up as a character, one of the very best, who thoroughly deserves to be playing Premier League football. He's done with 5 live in the week. It's a pass of the hands from Kieran McKenna, hug from Ben Johnson. And Ben Johnson comes on, a player with Premier League experience with West Ham. The Town signing relatively early in this transfer window. Perhaps that's one of the things we can talk about on Monday night in terms of areas that you feel Ipswich Town still may need to strengthen these last few weeks of the transfer window. We'll kind of move things on from the discussions you might have with Graham and Nick later on this afternoon. Same number on a Monday, of course. 0800 141 2121. 0-0. Johnson gets an early touch, given away by Ipswich Town. There is Szoboszlai. Prods it into a little gap 30 yards from goal centrally. Salah to Gravenberg along the deck from his fellow Dutchman Van Dijk. Now on the left it's McAllister. Morsey's gone with him. Good work from the captain. Boy, does he deserve his talents to be shown at Premier League level, Sam Morsey. It's a round of applause for shielding the ball out of play. It's a throw that Johnson will take in front of those Liverpool supporters. He had a wonderful time the last 9 years, nearly 500 games with Jurgen Klopp in charge, 7 major honours under the German. It's interesting to see where he turns up next. Throw in from Johnson, brought down by Szoboszlai. It surprised me, I was looking at the Liverpool squad, still just 23. Szoboszlai is a name that's sort of known from European football for a number of seasons now. Cost 60 million. Diaz is free inside the Ipswich Town area. There's the pullback, Szoboszlai, great block from Greaves, then a shot from McAllister, another block by Greaves. Outstanding defending from him. McAllister brings it down in the area, jabbed away by Luongo. Superb bodies on the line stuff from the former Hull man. In it comes from Alexander-Arnold. Oh, what a miss! It's Jota with the header when it looked easier to score from 4 or 5 yards out. What an opportunity for Liverpool to break the deadlock, and it's gone begging.
Yeah, fabulous ball in. Actually, we gift him the opportunity to put it in because he was going to pass it back to Kwanzaa, but we sort of tried to read that pass. He said, well, if you want that one, I'll have this one. And he just turned it on his right foot and bent the ball in, and it went low towards the 6-yard box, and that was as easy a header as you could possibly have.
Here is McAllister, let off for Ipswich Town, but they don't deserve to be behind. At the back here is Van Dijk. That was a real rarity in this game, a clear-cut opportunity, possibly the first one.
Yeah, it is really
a goal. Yeah. Really should have been. Had it been at the other end, we'd be saying as much as well. Van Dijk back to Alisson. He's not the tallest Jota, but it wasn't one of those where he was stretching to get up and over it. Not at all.
No, not at all.
Ideal height for him.
Easy, stooping header.
It was, wasn't it? Here's Alexander-Arnold. Ball around the back to Salah. Salah into the centre. Jota, 1-0 Liverpool. He missed a golden opportunity 90 seconds ago, but when the Portuguese was gift-wrapped another one, he's touched it beyond Walton. Off go the red shirts to celebrate. Sadly, the flag has stayed down on this near side, and Liverpool have a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, it's a terrific move. Leif Davis has allowed the ball to go on his inside. Up came his arm to claim offside. I think that was just in hope, because no way was Salah offside. He's well onside. The centre-halves have stayed maybe 5-6 yards behind Leif Davis. There was no need for his hand to come up. He's got clear. It's just a square ball and a side foot finish. Once they got beyond the Town defence, the rest was fairly easy.
On the hour mark, Liverpool take the lead at Portman Road. But we know all about the spirit and the character of this Ipswich Town team. They came from 2-0 down against the Premier League side here last season to beat Wolves 3-2. Yet Liverpool are better. Of course they are than Wolves, but they're certainly not going to lie down and die. Ball forward from Alexander-Arnold against Alisson behind, into the middle towards Jota. The flag goes up this time, wouldn't have counted. Jota all of a sudden a real threat in the Ipswich Town penalty area.
Yeah, this could sort of change the complex of the game, really, unfortunately, because this, without doubt, will give Liverpool the lift that they've been searching for all afternoon, and it will just dent the enthusiasm of Town, who have been playing with an air of confidence, really, because they have been holding their own against this Liverpool team.
Ipswich haven't beaten Liverpool in 6 here, all the way back to February 86, the last victory over them here. It's the Market Stewart 1-0, and there was an Adam Tanner 1-0, were both at Anfield. In goes Twanzebe, ball over the top. Liverpool with their tails up inside there. It's Robertson. Robertson tries to pull it back. It pings around inside the Ipswich box. Eventually shared square by Johnson out far side. There's Liverpool fans now enjoying their trip to Suffolk that bit more. Their side leading by 1-0. The first competitive Liverpool goal of the Arne Slot regime.
Well, we look vulnerable with the ball over the top, but you've got to also say, are Liverpool particularly very good at it, because they look for it an awful lot of times and they can produce that pass that takes somebody clear. It's very difficult for the Town back line.
Van Dijk to Gravenberch. Town have clearly, under Kieran McKenna, never played a side of this quality, with genuine world-class talents there and an awful lot of elite top-level footballers in there as well. Pretty much every one of them ticks either box. Robertson crossing into the Ipswich area. Greaves on the slide facing his own goal does very well to clear it away. Headed infield by Johnson. Liverpool come again. Robertson to Jota, the goal scorer. Tries the pullback this time. Jota's still got the ball to the byline. Out behind, off of Wolfenden. It's another corner kick to Liverpool.
That's exactly what you sort of felt might happen when, if Liverpool get the lead, their confidence has come back, and they're really sort of taking the game now to town. This is a very important spell. We need 5 or 10 minutes of really absolute togetherness and just see off this sort of moment of Liverpool.
Marcus Harness is about to join played in League One, played in the Championship and played in the Premier League club for Ipswich Town. He and Jack Taylor about to come on. Liverpool pull this corner kick short. Alexander-Arnold has it, gives it to Robertson. How many games have those two played together? Hundreds. Here's Alexander-Arnold again. Little ball into the box. Touched away by Delap. Excellent defending again from Delap. Chapman with a lovely ball forward. That was a beauty to Delap. Ipswich on the attack. Delap inside the Liverpool area. Good run from him. Still Delap loses his footing. Didn't appeal for a penalty to give him his due. It was never going to be one.
I'll tell you what, he looks quick.
He's done well.
He really does, Delap. He looks a real threat for town. He looks a good signing, as does Greaves. I think they both, look athletically good. They have ability.
Taylor is coming on for Luongo in midfield. Warm round of applause, deservedly so, for Luongo. And it's Harness who is coming on for Chaplin. Good ball forward from Chaplin, his last involvement in this match. Interview that we had with Marcus Harness a week ago after the Nice victory. Very, very modest, self-deprecating character, Marcus Harness. Almost surprised that he's still here, perhaps. But not only still here, he's also playing in the Premier League for Ipswich Town. Ball forward from Van Dijk towards Salah, who stayed on side. Davis is back. Salah has the ball inside the Ipswich Town area. Gives it back to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai back to Salah. Salah with a chance for 2-0. 2-0 Liverpool. Off he goes to celebrate with the travelling Liverpool fans. Doesn't look like there's going to be a dream first day victory for Ipswich Town now, it has to be said. Liverpool in the space of 5 minutes have scored twice. And it's Ipswich Town 0, Liverpool 2.
Yeah, a little bit of good fortune about that one. The ball just cannoned nicely off a town player, but Mo Salah has now got the measure of Leif Davis down this side, and he's really looking as if he's struggling defensively, Leif.
A real shame that this game were to completely get away from Ipswich Town. They don't deserve that, but that's the nature of the Premier League. And of course we have to remember Ipswich Town aren't playing any Premier League side. They are playing a top Premier League side. They won't be facing this kind of quality week in, week out. Every game will be tough. There'll be challenges all the way. There'll be nothing given. I'm not taking anything for granted against some of the lesser sides in inverted commas, but they won't be up against players like Salah, Jota, Diaz, Van Dijk, Alexander-Arnold and co week after week. But they are 2-0 down. Here is another restart. Hutchinson goes back to Wolfenden. Never lost by 2 goals here in the league. Kieran McKenna. Canate headed down. Of course it was going to happen at some point this season. Szoboszlai can't keep the ball in. Gives Keith Stroud a hug to stop his momentum. The Hungarian. Taylor throws the ball to Leif Davis. Great moment for Jack Taylor as well, a player who I think was on the books at Chelsea very, very early on in his career. He's fought hard to get back to that level by Barnes and Peterborough. Now on in midfield. Had a good first season with Town. Davis with a through, headed away by Van Dijk. Nodded forward by Taylor. Fellow sub Harness gets on the ball, wide left. Holds off Alexander-Arnold. Good play from Harness. Gets it round the corner to Delap. Delap needs some help. Gets it from Greaves. Greaves has the ball to Harness. Good play from Ipswich outside the Liverpool area. The 1-2 between Taylor and Harness. Harness still has the ball. Shields it away from Alexander-Arnold. In comes the cross of Davis. That was good from Ipswich Town.
Yeah, it's better. We need sort of pockets of play like that just to take the confidence away from Liverpool.
Davis crosses, headed away by Canate as far as Hutchinson. He volleys it from 15 yards, but it's into the crowd. Half a chance.
Yeah, that was half a chance, and the ball actually almost dropped more kindly for Delat there. You know, it looked as if it was going to drop really comfortably for him, but in the end he had to step forward and deal with it. But he was almost in a perfect position, and then from the half clearance, Hutchinson had a half chance, if you like.
Cleared forward by Allison. Wolfenden gets there ahead of Diaz. Remember the numbers to get in touch on BBC Radio Suffolk after this one: 0800 141 2121, or text 81333. Start those messages SFK. WhatsApp 08000 321 333. And if you want to email me ahead of Monday night between 6 and 7, the Blue Hats, brenner@bbc.co.uk. Forward from Gravenberch to Diaz. Diaz goes around the goalkeeper. Wolfenden's on the line though. Back towards Salah, but Taylor was there. Real opportunity for Liverpool to make it 3. Taylor to Davis, chested in field by Johnson, gives it though to McAllister. Now Jota to the byline. Jota dinks it into the middle beautifully, volleyed away by Twanzebe, out behind for a corner kick to the Reds, who are on top at the moment.
Good spell by them, and that was Trent Alexander-Arnold's best contribution in the game there, that drive-in run, and he set everything up, and that should really have been 3-0 to Liverpool, but you know, it was a great ball in from Jota, but we defended it well.
We'll do our best to get reaction from Kieran McKenna somehow or other post-match. Not quite sure what's going to happen after this game in terms of his media commitments and whether we can get anywhere near him. Alexander-Arnold with the away swinging corner kick from by the tunnel. Van Dijk heads it down, chested by Harness, brought away by Harness. Excellent play from him. He can't quite find Hutchins. That was unlucky. Both Harness and Taylor have both got on the ball since they came on the field, had an immediate impact. There is Allison, now 31 years of age, has scored for Liverpool against West Brom, a dramatic late goal a few years ago, the Brazilian. This afternoon's goal scorers have been Jota and Salah. Ipswich held it at 0-0 until the 60th minute, but 2 goals in the space of 5. And it's going to be so difficult for Town to get a point on the board this afternoon, at least in their Premier League return. And of course, who'd have thought you'd be watching Ipswich Town play Liverpool and talking about next week's game being even tougher? Town at Manchester City. It's a 3 o'clock kickoff next Saturday afternoon, so a 2 till 6 match day. Myself alongside Alex Matthew at the Etihad Stadium. Forward from Gravenberch, touched off by McAllister to Szoboszlai. Liverpool are purring. Salah's through the middle for his second goal. Powder puff finish straight at Walton. He should have killed off this game there, the Egyptian.
Yeah, super play. Jota's pass, his position that he took up to receive the ball, which was just deeper the centre halves, was excellent. Salah's position was even better, and Trent Alexander-Arnold came forward into a nice bit of space.
Taylor wins a good 50-50 against Szoboszlai. On the left-hand side, Davis. It's been a good performance this from Town. Back it goes to Jack Taylor. Square to Morsey. Greaves going to be very pleased with his competitive debut. Wolfenden over the top for Harness. Flag stays down, takes it on his chest and blazes it over the bar. Flag might have eventually gone up. He looked offside, but he didn't know that. He had to try and put it in the back of the net and ask questions, which he didn't manage to do.
Is that for the entertainment of the supporters that they let it go for such a long time there? I can't understand that. No. I really can't, because that looked... He's allowed Harness to take control of the ball, move it forward and hit a shot before he even thinks about putting his flag up. That's crazy.
Gravenberch, the Liverpool midfielder, to the left-hand side, Diaz. They're certainly not settling for 2 goals, Liverpool. Diaz taking on Twanzebe, getting the better of him. Diaz into the middle, away from Davis. Excellent defending. Salah was there for a tap-in. McAllister was there for a tap-in. Likewise, Szoboszlai. Davis has kept Ipswich Town in this game because 3-0 it's certainly over. Diaz scoops the ball away from Johnson. Lovely play from him. And then he goes down. Fouled by Johnson, was he? No, the referee says play on. Twanzebe by the dead ball line. Over in the far right corner. Ipswich Town have played their way out of danger nicely. But then Hutchinson loses the ball. And if Town are thinking of another change, I think there's some activity down below us. Playing it around, Szoboszlai out to the right-hand side. Salah into the Ipswich Town area. Again, good work from Davis. Now Harness tries to bring it away. He's leaning into Salah legally. Well done, Marcus Harness. Now Taylor to Morsey. Smodix is coming on for his debut. Johnson plays it to Morsey. Morsey has to stretch, but he has controlled it. Alexander-Arnold trying to press for Liverpool in the central area. Kind of worked it out to this left-hand side, and Leif Davis. Davis gets to the halfway line, goes beyond it. Got away from Salah. Excellent play from Davis. Infield to Delap. Delap with a crossfield ball to Johnson. Johnson nor Robertson got anything on the ball. If Johnson had really attacked that, he'd come away with it.
That was super play from Town. They worked the ball from a difficult position in the left back area, in a very defensive position to the right. They worked it back to the left and forward. That was good play.
Standing ovation for Liam Delap as he goes off. He thoroughly deserves it. He's been hugely impressive. And this really is a pinch me moment. A League Two player with Wimbledon, a Liverpool fan through and through. I talk about a League Two player with Wimbledon back in the January transfer window. He signs for Ipswich Town, Ali Al-Hamadi, and now he's coming on to play against his team Liverpool in the Premier League. Really is the stuff of dreams. The other change is that Sam Smodix is coming on for his Town debut, having signed from Blackburn yesterday. He's replacing Axel Twanzebe. Johnson has gone back to an orthodox right-back position. So let's see what Smodix can do. He's a goal scorer in the Championship last weekend with Blackburn. Got a couple in the week for them in the Cup. Connor Bradley is going to be the next change for the visitors. Liverpool, who lead by 2-0. Throw in for Liverpool. So Al-Hamadi gets his chance up top. Harness battling for the ball. McAllister who comes away with it. Infield from Jota, who made it 1-0. Gravenberg seen a bit of the ball recently. Canate to Alexander-Arnold. I guess he's the obvious person that might be replaced by Bradley, playing in that right-back position. Good ball from Alexander-Arnold to Gravenberg, gliding through midfield. Gives it to Szoboszlai, takes it in his stride. Szoboszlai into the centre. Good header away from Greaves. Then Taylor helps it on its way. Still 15 minutes to go in this game. Here is Smodix, his first touch as an Ipswich Town player, the former Colchester man. Taylor back towards Johnson, definitely playing it right back. Hutchinson's drifted across to that far right hand side for Ipswich Town. Ipswich get a goal in the relatively near future to set them up for maybe an unlikely point at the end of this game. Taylor to the centre circle, floating the ball up towards Smodix, the number 23. He was closed down quickly by Alexander-Arnold. Allison gives it out to Van Dijk. Just one opportunity Ali Al-Hamadi will be looking for. The first Iraqi international to play now in the Premier League. Alexander-Arnold at walking pace, keeping a hold of the ball, trying to draw in Smodix, then finds McAllister. Taylor robs McAllister illegally, says the referee. This means that Liverpool can make their change. That is indeed Trent Alexander-Arnold coming off for Connor Bradley. Bradley, who's played here in the FA Youth Cup before, and also on the opening day a couple of years ago, Connor Bradley on loan at Bolton won a penalty here. It was Leif Davis's debut, you might remember. He was brought down in the box by Davis, and he had an excellent season at Bolton, probably as good a player as there was in League One, and he's done very well for Liverpool since he's really made his breakthrough into the senior team, the Northern Ireland International. He's on for the remainder of this game. Just resting Alexander-Arnold for the trials and tribulations ahead. Town 2-0 down. Back the ball goes to Allison. Still a glorious afternoon in Suffolk shirt sleeve weather. Here is Bradley taking on and beating Smodix. Infield from Bradley to Salah. Diaz is making a run. Tremendous ball from Salah, finds Diaz. Diaz infield towards McAllister. Blocked off by Johnson. Out as far as Salah. Fancies another goal. Diaz wants to complete a goal-scoring trio up front if he gets an opportunity. Gravenberg to Van Dijk. Van Dijk then goes back to Allison. Canate, the half-time change. Liverpool about to make another alteration by the looks of things down below us. Cody Gakpo, Dutch international, numerous goals at the last World Cup and European Championships in his second season. Diaz up against Johnson. He's got his work cut out in his debut, Ben Johnson. Diaz goes back to Jota into the centre. It's Jota actually with the header that's gone wide. Robertson, the player, trying to provide the assist. Goal kick to Christian Walton. 12 minutes to go, 2-0 Liverpool.
And it's been a real test now, hasn't it? You know, the Liverpool just lifted their game slightly after half-time. They got the first, and then they started to make an awful lot of inroads. I mean, they've got themselves 2 in front. They could have been more. They're enjoying their football now. I didn't think they enjoyed the game in the first half because Town were very competitive against them. And now that they've got their noses in front, you can see the class that they've got.
Gakpo is coming on for Jota. Goal-scoring start to the season for the Portuguese. Gakpo replacing him. 16 goals last season after costing £37 million from PSV Eindhoven. Another one who made a mammoth number of appearances for club and country last year, 66 appearances. That's Andy Robertson's afternoon off up as well. He's never going to make the 90th minute. Kostas Tsimikas is going to be coming on for him for the remainder of the game. Break and play. Surprised there haven't been breaks for water and rehydration in this game, given the temperature. Probably a lot quieter at the moment than it was around about 25 past 12 when the teams came out of the tunnel. 30,014 terrific attendance at Portman Road for this season opener. Sadly, the majority unhappy because their team is losing 2-0. They couldn't have done much more, the boys in blue. They've been good. Konate gets the better of Ali Al-Hamadi. Davis picks up a replacement ball, wants to take a quick throw-in. Referee's happy enough with that, but not where he's standing before taking it. Morsey up and over towards Al-Hamadi. Can he bring it down? Yes, he has. Ali Al-Hamadi saved by Allison. Comes out as far as Harness. Cleared away by Van Dijk. Oh, what a moment. That was almost there. It flags up far side. Free kick at the back to Liverpool.
That's added entertainment, that, isn't it?
That's it.
You get that for nothing, that. You know, he just lets it go on like, you know, a bit of in practice. See if he can finish. No, he can't. Right, we come back, we give the offside.
Been moments when players have pulled up with injuries after that.
Staggering.
There's another Town player down at Sam Morsey. Let's hope this 2-0 defeat isn't coming at a greater cost, with Burns going off injured. And now the captain's down, and he's never down. Such a warrior, Morsey. Here comes Matt Byard once again. A few players coming across to this near side. Mark Hudson having a word with Ben Johnson. Tall lad, Ben Johnson. Almost the height of Mark Hudson. Greaves and Davis in conversation. Kieran McKenna patting Marcus Harness on the hip now, having an encouraging word or two with Leif Davis. 2-0 to Liverpool in this match. The goals coming after 60 and 65. As ever, we want to hear from you post-match on BBC Radio Suffolk. Phone number 0800 141 2121. Text 81333. Start those messages with SFK or WhatsApp 08000 321 333 with the same numbers for Monday nights, the Blue Hour from 6 till 7 with me. You can also email Brenna at bbc.co.uk at any point with your thoughts. I'm doing a 90 in 5 feature on the programme on Monday. So basically, summing up Ipswich Town's performance, the 90-minute performance in 5 words. I'll read out as many of those as I can on the programme on Monday night. 90 minutes in 5 words. Give us your thoughts. More importantly than any of that, Morsey is up on his feet and just about ready to go again. As Ipswich Town search for a way back into this game. Gakpo swings the ball back to one of the now 3 Dutchmen in this Liverpool side, Van Dijk. Then Tsimikas, the Greek, a relative bargain at £11.5 million. Tsimikas when he was recruited from Olympiacos. Town still just have 10 men on the field. They're not allowing Morsey to get back on just yet. 8 minutes to go. Van Dijk to the right. Salah tries to cushion the ball forward for Bradley. It's back to Walton though. Inside the Town area. Nothing he could do about either of these two goals. Town's next game next Saturday at 3, Manchester City away. Next game here is Fulham, and a fortnight sandwiched in between that will be the AFC Wimbledon Cup tie, Carabao Cup round 2. Szoboszlai to the right, Bradley gives it back to Szoboszlai. Those two playing keep ball. Nice play from Liverpool. Bradley once again running at Davis. Salah and gives it to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai infield finding Van Dijk. He lifted over the top of Hutchinson. Tsimikas. Of course, if he doesn't come on now, Calvin Phillips would have to wait until Fulham for his league debut for Ipswich Town. Won't be eligible to play next Saturday. No sign of any further alterations down below us from the home dugout. Diaz throws the ball to Tsimikas. It's a bit of a feel almost of a pre-season friendly at the moment at this game. Liverpool sure in their own minds that they've stitched up all 3 points on the opening day. Liverpool just unable, Ipswich Town unable to get the ball off of them. Here is Konate to Bradley. Davis challenges him. Ball goes out for another throw to Liverpool, comfortably in control at the moment. Salah and Taylor having a bit of a push and a shove down below us. Bradley holds off Smodics. Good ball and field from Bradley, finding Salah 30 yards out. Still Salah, little threaded ball looking for Gakpo, blocked off by Ipswich. Hutchinson to the left hand side, and Smodics, very deep Smodics, taking on and beating Bradley. Then in comes Szoboszlai. The ball flies out of play. Szoboszlai apologises to some of the Ipswich Town backroom staff sitting on the bench, where he blasted the ball in their direction. Greaves throws the ball back in play, as Leif Davis was also about to take a throw, and Leif hadn't spotted that. Referee's blown his whistle. Approaching the final 5 minutes. Here is Jacob Greaves. Back towards Walton. Hopefully find out post-match just what the issue is with Aro Muric, the goalkeeper that we expected to be making his debut for Town this afternoon. Davis forward to Smodics. In the back of him goes Gravenberch. Smodics goes down. Davis takes this free kick for Ipswich. At Wolfenden to Ben Johnson. Johnson through a little gap into midfield, finds Morsey. Morsey holds it up against Gakpo, finds Jacob Greaves along the floor. Ipswich have it on the left hand side with Leif Davis. Ali Al-Hamidi's made a run in front of him. He plays it to Smodics. Smodics inside the box. The back heel to Al-Hamidi, who has a shot blocked by McAllister. And it's gone. It's going to be on for a corner kick to Ipswich, but no, flags up far side against Ipswich Town.
Yeah, we've actually sort of seen as if with that fantastic spell that Liverpool had, where they were really free-flowing, they were very creative, and they had chances that it seems to have, you know, it's partly us, it's partly them just taking their foot off the pedal, but we seem to have tidied things up a little bit, and we're just giving ourselves maybe half a chance to get one of these goals back.
Allison up to halfway. In goes Wolfenden, beats Gakpo. Gravenberch gets the better of Harness. Then tumbling, manages to find Bradley. Bradley's ball forward is dealt with by Greaves. Live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. Full match commentary of Ipswich Town 0, Liverpool 2 in the Premier League. Morsey towards Hutchinson. Hutchinson controls the ball, wants to spin away from Tsimikas. Hutchinson gets the better of Tsimikas. Good play from him, excellent play. Gives it to Harness. Harness's layoff back to him on the 1-2. Didn't have enough on it, otherwise that could have been interesting. As it is, Ipswich Town, all they've got for their efforts is a thrown outside the Liverpool area.
Yeah, just one too many there, and That one was Van Dijk, so he did really well, Amari Hutchinson, to manipulate the position.
Johnson throws the ball to Hutchinson outside the Liverpool area, far left corner as we look at things. Diaz is back there for Liverpool. Trying to lead Johnson a merry dance. Now he's lifted the ball up after a couple of keepy up. He's trying to scoop it over his head. Johnson's persistence has paid off. Ipswich Town have a throw-in outside the Liverpool penalty area. 2.5 minutes to go. Ipswich Town score a goal on their Premier League return. Johnson with a throw into the box, chested down by Al-Hamidi, one by Harness. Harness inside the box, still has it, gives it back to Taylor. Taylor goes square, but only to Bradley, who brings it away to Szoboszlai. Now it's 4-on-2 in Liverpool's favour. Diaz to Gakpo. No, Diaz has carried it on inside the box. Still Diaz back to goal, blocked by Wolfenden. Morsey is there, away it goes. Liverpool should have made it 3-0 there, but they didn't. Salah, ball in field, cleared away by Taylor, not very far, straight to Gravenberch. Liverpool keeping up the pressure, approaching the final 90 seconds. Here's Ryan Gravenberch again. Back the ball goes to Konate. Bradley for Liverpool, leading 2-0 thanks to this man, Mo Salah. McAllister, one touch to Gravenberch. Liverpool on goal difference, going top of the Premier League above Manchester United, who won just 1-0 against Fulham last night. Szoboszlai, biggest game of the weekend, I guess, is tomorrow afternoon when Chelsea play Man City. McAllister finds Diaz on that left-hand side, approaching the final minutes of the 90. Tsimikas to Diaz. Diaz has been very good this afternoon. McAllister. Liverpool with Gakpo. So tough for those Ipswich Town players out there now. Gakpo to Van Dijk. Liverpool have easier games than this season, but they are looking more and more likely to be heading back to Merseyside with the 3 points. Van Dijk to Bradley. Bradley, who's in midfield, really has taken on the Trent Alexander-Arnold role. There he is again in a centre-half area. Oh, almost caught up by Al-Hamidi. Bit of overplaying from Liverpool there. Could have easily fallen Al-Hamidi's way, and he'd have been in on goal if he had won that cleanly. Smodics against Konate. Smodics strong, but ball's gone out of play. Liverpool throw, or was it Liverpool free kick? Certainly Liverpool ball in their area. Better be told how many added minutes there are. There are 8 adders on this. 8 minutes at a time. That's 8 minutes at a time. A little bit of a surprise. Not too many people leaving early from this one. Allison, edge of his area to Van Dijk. McAllister goes back to Allison, very comfortable with his feet, very much at the forefront of this new breed of goalkeepers. Allison. Bradley to Szoboszlai. Premier League football live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. Still a few hours of the programme to go. Graham's on air till 6. Plenty happening locally as well today. Needham Market have got their first home game at Step 2. Southport, the visitors to Bloomfields. I wonder if there might be anybody in the away crowd here that's a bit of a Southport fan as well as a Liverpool fan that's trying to make something of that game when they leave Portman Road. But even the smiles on their faces because their team is winning this one. Tsimikas, ball forward to Gakpo, has players in the centre. Salah wants it, comes to Diaz. Great challenge from Greaves. Really good. He's taken a bit of an accidental slap in the face, perhaps, Greaves. It's out behind for a corner kick to Liverpool. Could have been a third goal though. Greaves unhappy with Diaz.
Yeah, he did well, Greaves, there. If he didn't make the challenge, if he didn't make contact with the ball, that would have come through to Salah for an easy tap-in. So he's defended it really well.
Szoboszlai is applauded by the travelling Liverpool fans. Just 90 seconds into the added on 8 minutes, so Ferrell while still to go. Corner kick to Liverpool, Szoboszlai on it, their 9th of this Premier League game, and it comes from him. Headed away by Al-Hamidi. McAllister with possibly even we can say on day one, might be Liverpool's worst shot on goal of the season.
Who's to say it was a shot or not a pass to the corner kick taker? It was an awful shot.
Yeah, it's not even gone. It's not even a throw in by the corner flag far side. It's in line with the edge of Ipswich's 18-yard area. Terrible effort from McAllister, who scored 7 goals and had 7 assists last season for Liverpool. Does know where the back of the net is, but well wide on that particular occasion. Canate played the second 45. Gives it to Bradley. Ipswich Town starting their Premier League return with a defeat. Liverpool have it at the back. McAllister gives it off to Tsimikas on the far side. Diaz is in the central area. Nice 1-2. Gakpo and Tsimikas linking up nicely. Ball's whacked with Gakpo in the area. Gakpo into the middle looking for Szoboszlai. Good challenge again by Greaves. Knocked into the centre once more, headed by Davis. As far as Salah, saved by Walton. Bradley has a go. Another good block from Ipswich at the back. Good defending from the home team. McAllister clips it in, headed away by Davis. Glances ahead of Szoboszlai to Diaz. He's desperate to score. Into the area. Diaz to Bradley. Saved again by Walton. Really good goalkeeping from the Ipswich Town keeper. It's cannoned off Bradley. It's a goal kick Town.
Well, it was wonderful attacking play by Liverpool on 3 occasions, but Town have been really resolute there. You know, they haven't given up. You know, they've really, they must be wondering, you know, the movement of these boys is absolutely terrific, but they didn't give up and they finally managed to clear the ball on 3 occasions.
Well, just about at the halfway point of this added on 8 minutes. Town playing it around inside their penalty area. It's good to see they're sticking to this principle. It's worked well for them up until now. They'll get sharper and sharper at it. They'll need to. Hasn't caused any of the goals this afternoon. Smorsy has the ball outside of his box. Goes to Wolfenden. Practically kept his nose clean since that early yellow card. Must have been a worry. Johnson. One of 4 debutants this afternoon for Ipswich Town. Johnson. Ian Smodics off the bench in the second half. Greaves into lap started. Gravenberch catches Hutchinson. Free kick. And sarcastic cheers from the Town crowd for a Liverpool player, Ryan Gravenberch, being booked. Hutchinson being picked up by Cody Gakpo. Well, we'll endeavour to speak to people after this game. Can't promise anything. Just have to see how things pan out when I go downstairs. Far from guaranteed that they'll get anywhere near Kieran McKenna. Wolfenden gives the ball to Greaves. Now Harness forward. It's not reaching anyone anytime soon. Throwing it right back. Of course, Town will be on match of the day this evening. Another added attraction to life in the Premier League. 5 minutes gone in added on time. The goals after 60 and 65, Jota and Salah have won this game for Liverpool. Can Town, though, just get an opportunity to get maybe a consolation goal? Start the build-up on the matchday preview next Friday with Walkie ahead of Manchester City. Cleared to halfway by Canate, won by Greaves. He can be very pleased with his first appearance in blue. Tsimikas over the top, looking for the run of Salah. Davis has gone with them. Taken down by Salah, appeals for handball, given by the referee. He's been frustrated, not been his best this afternoon, Salah, but he has got himself on the score sheet. 25 goals last season. 2 player of the matches. Sensible. Good shout. Jacob Greaves, as you heard there, awarded the Man of the Match award. I understand that fully. Wolfenden to Morsey in midfield. Gives it to Smodics. Al-Hamidi starts to make a run. Smodics picks out a pass to Hutchinson far side. He controls it. Town have got a couple of minutes to get a consolation goal. Hutchinson inside the area, tries to play it in the middle, comes off Tsimikas. Town get a corner kick.
Yeah, still people are talking about Amari sort of learning to play in various positions. That's his best position, and until he's really fully developed, I don't think you move him from that position. I think in other areas he's a little bit ineffective, but he's terrific at driving at people on the right-hand side.
Final minute of added on time at the end of this game. Town played a corner kick short. Back it goes to Morsey. In comes a good-looking cross from him, headed up by Gakpo. Not away though. Wolfenden's up there. Taylor has a go. Comes off the number 6 on the back of Wolfenden. Drops to Harness. Town keeping up the pressure. Smodic's ball around the corner to Greaves. The man of the match almost had a chance to cap it with a debut goal there, but Liverpool had bodies in the way. Allison with a quick kick downfield. Johnson's done terrifically well. Excellent from Ben Johnson, with Diaz and Salah very close to him. Smodic's for Ipswich Town. 30 seconds to go in this game. The points have gone, but can Ipswich Town score a Premier League goal? Taylor blocked off by McAllister, headed by Wolfenden. Town will get a terrific ovation from their supporters at full time, deservedly so. Taylor has it once again. Hutchinson wants the ball far side, instead he goes centrally, headed down to Gravenberch. Simicast to Diaz. That's it according to my watch, and so to the referee's watch as well. And that's it for Ipswich Town's Premier League opener, as Kieran McKenna shakes the hand of Arne Slot, who's made a competitive winning start as Liverpool manager, but no points for Ipswich Town on day one at Portman Road, beaten by Liverpool by 2-0.
Well, I think that we can sort of come away from this as 2-0 defeat. It's at home. They're sort of not the results that you really want to happen, but we can come out of it with a bit of credit, because I think the two things we've seen today, we've seen the Town sort of give a really spirited performance, a very together performance, and certainly matched Liverpool in the first half. Probably shaded it slightly in the first half, but then you saw the quality of Liverpool coming through in the second half, and demonstrated to us what the top of this table is all about. And I must emphasise the top of the table, because Liverpool are one of the best sides in the division, and we've seen what they are capable of. Their passing is slick, it's precise, the movement is excellent, the long ball, whether it's hitting the touch lines to be controlled, or whether it's going over the top for runs forward against your goalkeeper. Terrific. The selection of the pass was wonderful. We were really good first half. We matched Liverpool, and then, as I say, we saw Liverpool come out, step it up a notch or two, and were terrific. One stat that really sort of emphasises this for me is the touches in the opposition box. Liverpool 49 and Town 20. Town's 20 is a credit to them, because it's not easy to get those touches in the opposition box. You don't get them if you're sitting back defending all the time. So 20 against Liverpool is good, but 49 away from home by Liverpool is absolutely exceptional. And it just tells you how many opportunities they were potentially going to create was remarkable. So it's a day for everybody, really. I think this team, Liverpool, I think Slot has got it perfect when he said, no problems, I haven't insisted that we go in the transfer market, because my theory is that Jurgen Klopp had produced a good side, and I'll give them the time that they deserve. And he's right, and I think Kieran McKenna is right. He's given these guys that have taken us up from the first division an opportunity.
4 debutants today, Mick. We didn't really see an awful lot of Schmodix and Johnson in terms of assessing their performance, but I got the impression, like probably all of us, you were impressed by Greaves and Delap. How did you rate the two?
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, Jacob Greaves has been given the Man of the Match award, and that was for his defending, and then all of a sudden, 3 minutes after being announced as the Town Man of the Match, he nearly scores at the other end. So, no, I like the look of him. He's strong, he's athletic, his touch is good. He'll do good for us this year. He really will. And Liam Delap, now this guy can fight, he can push people around, and he's got exceptional pace. I think he's going to be a real threat as well. So those two, credit to them. They've come in and they've done a really good job. No, even Sammy Smodic, I thought he came on and showed just one or two things. He's been played over here on the left touchline. Didn't faze him. He just his touch of the ball is good. He's very positive when he's in possession of the ball. No, I think the ones that we're bringing in, and Calvin Phillips as well, he's the type that I thought we would have been searching for a long time ago in the summer, but it wasn't possible. He's arrived now, and he's the sort of guy that you do need in the centre of midfield with that experience. He's tough, he's tenacious. I mean, we all heard Gareth Southgate say that the player we've missed most of all was Calvin Phillips, and he got slaughtered for saying it, and yet that's a manager who's looking at the players that he's had under his control, and he gave him a lot of credit, and that's from the England manager. So we've got a lot to look forward to with him. So no, it's a massive, it's one of those unfortunate baptisms, if you like, but it has shown us, I think, roughly what the division is about. More so the top of the division than the lower regions of the division, which I think we probably, as the season sort of develops, we're going to have to concentrate more on the bottom section than the top section. But this just tells anybody who watched this game, that Man City and Arsenal are everybody's favourites to win the Premier League. But Liverpool actually ran them really close for a long period last year. You thought, well, maybe Liverpool will be champions. Well, I think they're going to have a good run for it this year as well. So we've seen a really good Premier League team here today, and we've seen a team that's come up 2 divisions give absolutely everything they had.
We finally got there after all these years, Mick. We've done a Premier League game together. Wow. It's been an absolute privilege. I genuinely never thought it would happen, but I am so chuffed to have sat here alongside yourself and watched Premier League football. Ordinarily at this point, I'd also say I'm going to pop downstairs and speak to Kieran McKenna and an Ipswich Town player, but I really don't know what is about to happen during the next half hour or so in terms of the madness and whether I can get anywhere near Kieran or get some reaction from a player. But Ipswich Town beaten, but not disgraced. An awful lot of good in that performance. Hope going forward. But sadly, no points on the opening day. It's Liverpool who've won this game by 2-0.